Where your ass was at, dog, when niggas wouldn't feed me? Where your ass was at, dog, when bitches didn't need me? Where your ass was at, dog, when niggas tried to run off? Where
Come
your
on,
ass
reading comprehension skills.
was at, dog?
Whoa.
Come on, Kia.
You made me pull the gun out. Welcome to the Real Drunk Show. Future is not my ministry.
Clearly.
Tonight's episode is entitled Safe Sex and Refugees. That's a weird title, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate for the show, though.
Hey, see, that's all that matters.
So as her name is not Ben Carson.
Your name should never be Ben Carson. Is Ben Carson's name Ben Carson?
Your name shouldn't be Ben or Carson.
Right. Let's delete those. Can we trade him? I'm sure we traded him.
Only Carson we acknowledge daily.
The only Carson we acknowledge is who?
Carson Daly.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I mean, do you know another Carson?
No, that's why I was confused.
Oh.
My son's middle name is Carson.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't too many of us named Carson.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, is Ben Carson even ours to trade? I feel like he doesn't belong to us.
No, he never did.
Mm-mm.
So let's get started with these introductions. Connie, you go first. You're the newbie.
I am the newbie. Oh, I'm popping my cherry.
Yes.
Right.
I'm for it. Can we say Beyonce? Or no?
Tell us your name, where you are, and what you are drinking.
Okay, so my Twitter handle or my government name?
We don't give out government names.
Okay,
not whole government names.
Okay, so it's at Connie Chameleon. I am in Atlanta, and I'm drinking.
No, you're getting it right.
What? Excuse me.
It's Alana, okay? And I feel a particular way about that.
No,
I've been practicing.
Actually,
people who are not from Atlanta.
To be technical, I'm off of Glenwood. I live in Decatur. I'm drinking this a Mike's Hard Margarita.
Shayna, you're the second newest. Go. Reggie's been on as many times as I have.
Yes, Reggie. Personal correspondent. That's all. Hey, everybody. I'm Shayna, Grandma's Gun, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. And, yeah, I'm at Grandma's Gun on Twitter. Follow me.
Reggie?
What up, y'all? Yeah, I mean, since I thought we wasn't saying governments, but she said everybody's government.
Everybody's government, right? Can we delete that part?
She's like, yeah, Connie, we not using governments, but anyway.
Say your last name.
My name is Reggie. I am from St. Louis. I am drinking Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee handmade white whiskey distilled from bourbon mash.
Oh, that sounds fancy. Is it fancy? It's either really fancy or really QT.
No, it's not QT at all. Like I bought it in Tennessee, but it's not like anything ridiculously expensive.
It's like, but it's a Tennessee specialty type.
Yeah. They don't sell them up here, so.
Gotcha. Well, I'm Kia. I'm sort of in East Atlanta. That's what I tell y'all, so y'all don't find me in real life. And I'm drinking Gatorade tonight.
Got a hangover?
No, I just I'm kind of dehydrated. I haven't been drinking enough water, and I don't want water. I need like juice. So here I am.
I'm gonna say, this is the second time I done been on the show, and you ain't been drinking alcohol.
I actually finished my bottle of tequila last night. So it might be a little swig in there.
Yeah, it's a little drop.
Oh,
yeah,
put it in Gatorade.
No, I'm just gonna take it straight.
Yes, do it like a champion.
This is like super smooth and it's super cheap too. It's a $20 bottle.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So let's get started. First, can we say happy birthday to Tyga?
Hell no.
Who?
Bye.
Tyga who?
The
Tony
rapper.
the Tiger, because Frosted Flakes
Right, because he's
was a
great.
staple in my home.
Wait, so the only Tiger we acknowledge is Tony?
Only.
Yeah, because I don't even acknowledge Tiger Woods no more. He don't win.
Or the Detroit Tigers, right?
No, we don't acknowledge them either.
Oh, yeah. Forget
Yeah,
them.
no, trash.
Oh, y'all lucky Angie's not on here. You know she
She
blocked
should be here
me.
to defend them. They
She
can go.
blocked me on Twitter because every time she says something about the Detroit Tigers, number one, they're usually losing. But there's this picture of Mitt Romney's wife in all Tigers gear from when he was. And I tweet her that picture every time. Only this past season, I found 3 pictures and I sent them to her, and she blocked me.
Kia deserves to get blocked every day.
Yes. Each and every
You
day.
legit do tweet
Every
something at least once a day that you should get blocked for.
And
Why?
then pretends like she has no idea what she's done, right? And it's
No.
like, Kia, you know what you did. Anybody watch The Hills? I did. When Lauren Conrad told Heidi, you know what you did.
You know what you did?
You know what you did, Kia. And then Kia be like, what did I do? I don't have any idea.
I
It's
just
always
be
like-
tweeting truth, guys.
You bring savagery to the timeline at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's
That's
ridiculous.
all,
You
24 hours
really
a
do.
day.
Like,
That
I
should
wake
be
up
your
at like
tagline.
6:30, 7
Bringing
o'clock.
you
I pick up my
savage
phone.
24 hours a
And
day.
you be going in on. I'll be like, damn, like.
Around the
Really?
clock. I'm here for it. She's committed. Can we give her that?
She is. She is.
And she still has her edges.
I mean, and that's hard to do as a black woman.
Oh,
You know,
my
but-
God. Well,
Who wedding ring you got on?
Oh, Kia chose?
Kia did I chose on this? Kia.
Wrong
You
hand,
should've
wrong-
tweeted that out.
Well, I thought I saw one on the other hand too.
oh no, that's.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
she rocking her Wendy Williams ring. Okay.
Oh, is that what that is?
How you doing?
Shade.
So,
How you doing?
Kylie broke up with Tyga on his birthday, guys.
I mean,
Well.
frankly, I think that's pretty funny.
Apparently, they've been doing a lot of stuff on each other's birthday, right?
Yes.
Because, like,
I mean, apparently they did a lot of stuff before her 18th birthday.
Oh,
yeah, you're right, and that's why I feel that he deserves every single drop of pettiness that he is receiving right now.
Well, they're no longer a headline. I mean, it's not sexy anymore, right? It's not.
It never
can't
was,
with
right?
that.
Was it?
I mean,
Well,
it
it started-
was too young to be sexy anyway.
yeah. It started off on Sierra's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
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 Black China posted the picture on Instagram of her future tattoo on her
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. Now,
And
is
then,
it
like,
Kia?
I thought it was real. I'm not
I thought it
gonna
was
say
real,
I've seen
too.
it since then, but I haven't been looking either.
Well,
I mean,
somebody
2
told
days
me it
later,
was.
Future said that he didn't have a girlfriend and kind
Yeah,
of left her out there.
He did.
But then this
Yeah.
video, right? The video of the,
Yes,
Right. Yes, that was the next thing, and they released that on whose
His
birthday?
yesterday, the day
Yeah, but
before
something
his
else
birthday.
happened too.
It's the rich sex video.
Yeah.
That,
Oh yeah, and that's like
Future
soft
and
porn, right?
Black,
Because her whole ass is out.
and she's sucking on his tongue.
Yeah.
And
oh,
it looks like salamander sex. Y'all know I think
It's
Future
not.
looks like a salamander.
Not what's up.
I
But
can't. But then they were saying like Kylie Instagrammed a video of her dancing to rich sex, like or
She
something
did.
like that.
Yes,
did.
she did today.
today, on his birthday.
Yes,
That
I'm gonna
whole
see if I can
circle is
find-
team too much.
they do
I
the
mean-
most.
Really, when it come down to it, like she a teenager, and teenagers do little young immature shit like this.
You know what? One of my followers said today that the pettiest people in the world are teenagers and old black women.
And I agree
So-
with every single thing you just said.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate though.
And
Yeah.
toddlers. Add toddlers to that list.
Yeah, but like
toddlers-
And
like
today's
toddlers don't know any better. They just don't care, right? But like old black women,
They-
like
yes,
they
they
have
do.
lived long enough. No. It's different. Like old black women have lived long enough that they have this orneriness that is just like.
Come
Like,
on.
you wanna
Why are you
smack-
talking about my grandmama?
I'm talking about everybody, grandmama.
That's true because your grandmother will hurt your feelings and not care, and then pray for you in the same breath.
Oh yes. Just like being Mary
Mhm.
Jane's mama, right? I love her.
They'd be like,
That's
they'd be like,
it.
baby, you're getting fat, but I still love you. Come on, get something to eat now.
Come
Don't
on over
eat
here
too
and
much,
get this cornbread. Like,
but
okay.
don't eat too much because I don't want them buttons to pop off your jeans. Like you be like, damn, come
No, my granny's thing is, you look kind of pretty. I'm glad you combed your hair today.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Confident builder.
Yeah, they're
That's
not.
how
You
it
know
is.
what? The grandmas kind of. They're not really here for the natural hair. I will say that.
They're
They be
not at
like,
all.
No.
"Oh,
They
I thought
not.
you was gonna come out with your hair looking wild today," and you just be like, "But this is the hair of your generation, ain't it?" Are not here for it.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
what they
was
took up under
looking
that
for.
wig.
Hmm.
I was
And you know
wait a
what?
minute. I was looking to see what Annalise Keating mama was gonna reply after she picked her little fro out and sent her that picture.
Yes, I hope she will send her a selfie
I was
back, right?
waiting.
Listen, I got Annalise braids under these crochet braids, so y'all don't do that.
Look, ain't nobody said nothing wrong with a little Annalise braid because let me tell you how you better twist your hair up at night to keep that moisture in, lest you be out here looking moisturized by the hair. No, you got
Looking
to
like you
twist your
got
hair up at night.
ashy roots.
Ashy everything. You ain't gonna have no roots because we all fall out. You got to keep it, braided, twisted, something.
Do.
So I found the video.
Oh Lord.
Oh God.
I'm not ready.
Hold on, guys.
Which one is this? Is this Kylie or
This is this is Kylie on
Snapchat?
Snapchat video. Yeah.
Oh, they
Lord.
don't need it bad.
Let me get my screen share thing going.
Do y'all think Kylie is the new Kim?
I think she wants to be. Here it is.
14.
So both baby
I
mom.
think because she wasn't the prettiest Jenner Kardashian. She had to make herself into that. Like she has a self-esteem problem.
Yeah.
Why y'all? It's the truth.
I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, look at her before. Seriously, she did not look like a Jenner or a Kardashian.
I mean, look at Kim before. None of them look like Kardashian. Like,
But Kylie just looked
Come on
really
in with the
off.
facts,
She
Liz.
didn't look like she belonged.
She didn't.
neither do
Well, how do we know if any of them look like they belong to any of themselves anymore?
neither do
come
OJ
on now.
daughter.
Shut up,
Exactly.
Chloe.
Chloe has never looked like anyone. She talked about that.
No.
I wish they would come out and deal with the fact that she is not that man's
Robert?
not her dad. Yeah, Robert is not her dad. But I think Chloe had. You know what? I think that's why I like Chloe the most, though. She's different from the rest of
Chloe
them.
really shit.
I don't pay no attention to none of them.
Well, no, I'm not gonna front. I did watch them. I haven't
I
watched
used
them
to,
in the
yeah.
last, 3 or 4 seasons, but I do watch them, and I do think that, you know what? If you want to see how you can take one moment and turn it into, like, take 15 minutes and turn it into
A lifetime?
look at
Right.
Kris Jenner, baby, because
I mean, we all have Ray J to thank for that.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying, do y'all think Kylie is the new Kim, right? Because I actually need to shout out at Andre Michael because today he tweeted like somewhere Kim Kardashian is in the background screaming at Kylie, "This is your moment!" Because remember she came out of the closet with Ray J, and he was kind of like a B-list rapper, right? And then Kylie has Tyga, and he's like a B-list rapper, and ever since then, she's never gone away. Like she might have just extended their family.
At least Ray J, like,
What?
He was
At least
Brandy's
Ray J
brother.
Brandy
that's
brother.
at least I mean, like, at least by extension, by being Brandy brother, and he had a couple songs that a few of us
Sexy
not our
Canine.
heads
What
to.
else?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that was my jam. You know what I'm saying?
Was that was
One
after
wish.
Kim? No.
But I'm just saying he has some things to his merit,
What?
and
Tell
He
me.
played Dorian very well.
Yes, Brandy brother.
He played
Yeah.
the shit
I
out
mean,
of
what I'm
That's
saying is
because he was playing himself.
he has
You
more to
right.
his merit. He has more to his
Shit,
merit
I
than
can
Tyga
act to
does.
Shayna all day.
He has more to his marriage than Tyga does, and
Does he? Please give me
Yes, I think so.
and Kim wasn't underage whenever they started dating, was she?
True.
You're right.
No.
Now you're right. He is better than him in
Kim
that
was
way.
Brandy's assistant. That's how they met.
Yeah.
Kim was Brandy's assistant.
So
Kim
I'm
actually
what you
stole. Didn't she steal like
Yeah, she
some money?
stole. Yep.
She charged up their credit cards or something.
Because real talk, like Ray J is paid and has been paid for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It don't add up, but I
Because
won't
it's-
argue that
because-
he's paid.
But I mean,
Yeah, he
aside from
got
music,
paid.
like he's always done production and he has his own studio and stuff.
Okay.
So,
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I
he's
just
been
know
getting money for a minute.
All right.
reality show right there.
No, Ray J
guess
had
he just
money
needs
before the
something to
reality
do.
shows.
Today is also Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Yeah.
So this is the 17th year that they have marked this day.
Oh, wow.
And more than 20 people have been lost this year. Most of those are women of color.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's a part of the movement that often gets overlooked, along with Black women and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that should be out there because they experience a totally different type of racism and sexism than the rest of us do. So
I didn't even know anything about the day.
I didn't either. That's news to me too. I didn't know that.
I saw it because Georgia Democrats tweeted it out this morning, and BET has a link where they go through Black transgender women who have been killed.
But like, think about that though. Like, that says a lot that like it's 4 of us sitting here and 3 of us hadn't heard of that, and it's been going for 17 years.
And I would say the 4 of us are pretty open and into that world as to not be a part of it. You know, as allies, I think we're pretty connected to that for us not to know. I actually reached out to a couple of friends of the show. One who are transgender. One was working tonight, and the other is actually at a march and a vigil.
A vigil?
Yeah.
At a big Joe.
I sound like
East Atlanta.
I sound like DJ Khaled trying to say jury.
No, that's every Black
added a
person.
whole vowel and a whole syllable to the word.
Scrappy. That's what Scrappy right there.
That's it.
Yeah. You added a vowel and a syllable.
No,
Y'all
not
keep
doing
saying
me
we
like
have a
that.
visual.
Yeah,
But
and I can't even blame it on the alcohol because I'm not drinking.
But Kia, do you see what we saying?
Can I plead the fifth? Can we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna have a visual for that misnomer.
Oh, wait, but can I just say this though? Can I say this?
Yeah.
About the Transgender Day of Remembrance. I just think that it is so. You know, when I was at Spelman Pearl Clegg, she did this class about who should we include in our sisterhood, right? And at the time, Corinne Stephens had just released her book, and, you know, she put up a series of people like Oprah, you know, Maya Angelou, Lena Horne. Then she put up Corinne Stephens and was like, would y'all include her? And, you know, of course, you had a myriad of responses, right? And the lesson was basically, it's just interesting who we choose to support and who we choose to exclude. And I just feel that the more we watch all of these issues play out, that it's our responsibility to say, okay, we live in this land of the free, but do we really? Because ain't people supposed to be able to make their own choices here in America?
No, we live in the land of the white free people.
Right.
Come on. So, are you free if you deserve to be free, according to, you know, whatever standard that is? And I just think that it's interesting that, you know, we can have all of these days that we choose to highlight and blow up and, you know, celebrate, and then things that are equally as disruptive get swept under the rug. It's just interesting.
I think
even by our own people.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just have our own issues in the Black community with gay, lesbian, trans, bi, queer. You know, we have our own, you know, our own issues.
Bye.
Very,
Don't
very
forget
true.
bye.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Okay.
I always find it interesting when we as Black people do that, because it's this thing where oppressed people
become the oppressor.
Yeah, when they become the oppressor, it's kind of like they found find power in not being oppressed, but being the
Yeah.
oppressor. It's interesting, to say the least.
But that's because it's easy, right? First of all, it's probably because they learned that behavior. But secondly, because it's easier for me to be rude to you or to bully you than to really work on what's making me feel bad about myself.
But I mean, if you think about it, that's just a microcosm of, and there's several examples of that. Same
Yes.
thing with, when it comes to poverty, and when you see rich black people make it, and then they don't do anything to help anybody else out to get to that status or get back to where they came from too.
Or you don't live in your community, you won't shop in your community, you don't vote in your community, like you just it's like you wash your hands and then wonder why several years later your children don't have a context for what racism is in America. It's not that racism ever disappeared, it's really that we just took it out of the center of the conversation, right? Because it was a part of this identity that we wanted to move away from when we made it, whatever that meant. Because
really, you just moved to a different form of racism, really.
Exactly. That's it.
It's not any less. Right? It's not any less or any more or anything like that. It just becomes more sophisticated.
But you know what? I think that's how we got to the point where we are now. There was this generation who, after the civil rights movement, I'm sorry, I'm getting an echo. Do y'all hear it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard it, but not anymore.
Okay. All right. So, it was the generation after the civil rights movement. They were so tired of fighting, they just wanted their kids to be and have everything. And then we end up now where we wonder why our kids are how did we move so far from being brought into the conversation to our kids still being killed in the street? And I heard somebody say this the other day, like, Martin Luther King's fight was never about, or the civil rights movement was never about ending racism. It was about ending segregation. So now you're part of the system, but racism is still there. And at some point in time, we stopped fighting for the end of racism and just settled for being apart.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and it's crazy because, like someone said, we've gotten to this point where these people remove themselves from what they see as black so much that their children grow up not knowing racism. But on the flip side of that, you also have, because there's still racism, but there isn't segregation, that also contributes to kids nowadays growing up and not knowing what racism is too. Because for instance, like my little brother, like both me and my brother were raised the same way, with the same knowledge and teachings and all of that. But I am much more pro-black, let's go than he is, because he came up in a school that was, he was able to be in the DSEG program and go to a school that had a lot more white people than black people. And so for him, he hasn't really experienced racism, at least the blatant racism that
he doesn't know. He doesn't know because, like so many black
he doesn't
people,
recognize it.
They know what racism feels like, but they don't know that this is a racist behavior, right? Like if someone makes a comment about
it hasn't even been in the same form or as blatant, right?
Right.
Because again, even when we were younger, but even when we were younger, we experienced it in a more blatant way. And we're far removed from the civil rights era as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as each generation goes by, that in your face part of it gets less and less, and so they don't
more and more covert.
Yeah,
so it's a struggle to get him to understand that white people still will call you niggas.
And that's not the way that a person can be racist.
Right. He doesn't, like, my ex-husband is white, but he doesn't, and he used to go to, a predominantly white school, but so he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. Like, I don't want him to learn how to drive, but he just does not get it, and it's sad because it's bound to happen, but it's going to shake him so bad because it's like they live in a bubble. These children now, and they don't get it, and they don't understand, the reality.
But I think that that's a part of their strength too, is that when we try to explain things like this to them, I'm a teacher now. I work as a professor. But I worked in a high school for 7 years, and when we try to explain things like this to them, it's a part of them that just doesn't accept it, right? And I think it's from that place where they've had the courage to speak out in ways that, you know, older generations have not, and say, we collectively are just not going to tolerate any type of discrimination of any kind.
Well, see, my
I think
desire,
they're oblivious. Like, my son is oblivious to that.
Right. Like, my
yeah.
desire is that he at least recognize it. Even if even if his actions don't change, at least recognize the fact that people still look at you as black, as a little black boy. You know what I mean? And he doesn't get that part. And so, you know, like Connie said, it's going to be a point where it smacks him in the face. And I know it's going to hurt that much more because he didn't think that that's the world that he lives in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
so that's what my fear is.
Well, I hope they hear y'all.
Yeah, he went out of town, you know, with my ex-husband's side, you know, and I told him, I said, you can't do what your cousin does. He's a white boy. So if y'all are in the store, you know, and he runs, don't run. Like, and it's that, and he still does not get that. Well, oh, okay. And it's like, I say, well, Nate, be careful. You know, oh, okay. It's like, well, you can't do what they do.
And Cameron has an opportunity to go skiing in West Virginia. Yeah. And I want him to go because I just want him to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I've never been
and the experience.
But
yeah, I've been through West Virginia.
To send my child by himself to West Virginia with no one else who looks like him,
right?
It makes me uneasy.
Right.
But it's really about trust. Like, do you trust them to take care of him?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, my brother went through the same thing. He went to Denver. And it was, you know, the same thing. He went with some friends from school. And he goes to a white public university that's in, like, the boondocks of Missouri. So he goes to Southwest Missouri State. And, well, I guess it's just Missouri State now. But anyway, they drove to Denver and spent the week there. And, like, you know, I don't know much about Denver, but I know it's a lot of white people.
It's black people in Denver, though. It's black people in Denver.
And I know there's black people in Denver too. But I mean, and he went with a group of white people. You know what I mean? Like, so he's the black boy with this group of white kids.
Right.
And if something happens, he's the first one they're gonna look at. Right. If they get pulled over by the police, he's the first one. He's the one they're gonna question, even if he ain't driving. You know?
Absolutely.
He just doesn't get that.
Well, I know. Is it Shauna? Shayna, excuse me. She said,
it's
go
grandma.
With people,
yeah, it is grandma. Come on, grandma.
Yeah. Go with people that you trust, but can a white person have empathy for him? You know what I'm saying?
Great question.
Will they really understand if he says, well, I feel uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to pacify him?
I think you need a certain level of understanding to really be able to do the right thing, right?
Yep,
so, like, you can empathize, but that doesn't mean that you can help in the way that he may need help.
And I know there is one person I know at least one person on that trip who really gets it, who will say, who will have those hard conversations about racism and white privilege and all of that. But I don't know about the other people on the trip, and the group is so big, you know, it's not guaranteed that this one person who I do trust will be with him if something were to happen.
Right. So, and that's the thing. I be clear. Like, my shirt has a black power fist on it right now, so it should tell you.
I say pure black, so I'm right.
And I have that shirt as well. Thank you for that awesome treasure that you brought to the black community, right? But I just try not to use exclusionary, you know, language, and because I feel like sometimes some people that I see, you know, while doing this type of work, have this, you know, I hate all white people ideology.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the antithesis of the real message that we are really trying to send.
Yeah.
That, you know, no identifier should be an excuse for someone to mistreat you in any way, in any part of the world. In no way that you identify, whether you chose that identity or not. It should not be grounds for, you know, a person to mistreat you. And I just think that in our resistance, we have to kind of curb our hate, right? And you have to curb your rage so that it doesn't turn into hate. But at the same time, you got to stay woke, man. You got to stay woke because the facts are really the facts. And you can't dispute kind of what's been happening and what's still happening.
How do you stop becoming what what you're fighting? How do you not let the bitterness turn you into someone who hates these people who are so dismissive of your pain, of your position, of what's going on?
I don't even know. Because every day it's like when I log into Twitter, it's like
all day,
another day. Like they get on my nerves, And then but then it's hard because I have a daughter who's half white. I have family who's white, so it's I don't know.
I pray,
I have my days where I refer back to a certain state. It's one of Beverly Joyce Tatum's or whatever.
Beverly Daniel.
That's it. Her, Dr. Tatum.
Yes, Beverly Daniel.
Her steps of that's it. Her steps of racial identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I forget which submerged. What is it? It's one of them where it's just like I am pro-black. I hate whitey, and like I try and keep in mind like those steps and realizing. And
that is Daniel Tatum you're talking about.
Yeah. Why are all the black kids sitting together in the cafe?
Yeah. I try and keep in mind like okay, I don't like for people to group me into this group of people that and saying that all black people do this and that and the other, and they just don't. And there's some people that are just not gonna get it, and that's fine, right? But the way I approach it is the people who are at least I see that they're open to at least gaining that understanding, even if they're not actively seeking it. But if they're at least open to getting that understanding, then okay, I can work with that. And the people who are just who just want to be racist and they are okay with that, all right, cool. You go stand over there. I don't have to fool with you, and I'll keep it moving.
That's right.
Here's
and
the book.
Save everybody.
Yes, come on. It's in the library. Okay.
Mine is downstairs. Mine is downstairs.
Yes, Beverly Daniel Tatum. She is the most recent former president of Spelman College, and she is a race relations expert, psychology. And she specializes in racial identity. And this is actually my sister's book. I let someone borrow my book in college and never got it back. And
don't let people borrow your book. Sorry.
Exactly.
No, don't do that.
Buy it for them.
I borrowed my sister's book and never got it back.
Never gave it back. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nope, don't do it. But listen, I just want to say that I pray and I try to meditate and do yoga. I'm not really a religious person. I consider myself like more spiritual. But you have to have some sort of release of that negative energy, because I didn't really recognize until one day I was scrolling Twitter and I read a story and I literally burst out crying. And I'm not really a crier like that. But that was I emote, but crying is not one of the ways that would be my first way. It's usually like screaming. So I had to recognize, and luckily there have been a lot of articles from Black public health professionals that have been telling us about the ways in which, even reading this much news about Black death and oppression and racism and prejudice is affecting us and in our subconscious, right? And then we talked about that article on Twitter where people aren't sleeping. Black people get like 40% less sleep than white people because of the trauma that, comes with being Black, right? It's crazy. So, but, I try to find some way to release it, either exercise, prayer, yoga. The other thing I would say is what Reggie said, if I could hitchhike with him, is that, Jill Scott, my mom and my mind. You remember that tweet today, kid?
I do, and I meant to say, you know what? Y'all, I respect y'all for being able to love Jill Scott after seeing her on Twitter.
The thing is, that's why she's my mama in my mind and not my sister in my mind, because she's a part of that mama generation. Camille Hanks Cosby, as much as I love and respect her work, I mean, you can't tell me that this many people are alleging that your husband raped them and you didn't know anything about it. And I think that's why Shonda Rhimes did that episode, about it. But she did say something that I wanted to say with you, that you want me to be willing you want me to be what you're not willing to be. Right? And so I recognize that I can't say to you that don't be racist, don't be hateful, don't judge people, accept people, make space for people when I'm excluding you, right? So I can't be what I'm not. I can't want you to be what I'm not willing to be. Get that Jill Scott Woman. That's a good album.
Oh, okay. So I have a question for you guys. Cut buddy in your head. Who is it?
Ooh.
I got a few, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a hoe in my head.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I'm here for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw Rihanna out there.
Yes, me too. That's the first person that popped in my head.
It's just I don't know. It's just
no. Yes,
I would literally let her ruin my life. Like just
And know that she was ruining your life the whole time.
I would be a puppy dog on a leash for Rihanna. I ain't even gonna lie.
in my mind, though.
No, in real life. Like if she called me right now and was like, I'm outside, bring your ass outside, butt naked, don't even wear no clothes. And it's like 40 degrees outside right now. Like
I would be like, can I bring your friend? And then I would ask and then see what the answer is, maybe. But listen, I love Rihanna. That was the first person that popped in my head, kid. I can't front or lie. Have y'all seen how she been rocking those baseball caps with these ball gowns? Yes.
I don't care what
Rihanna.
And what's crazy, like when Rihanna first came out, I used to just be like, oh, she alright.
And like, I've always said I don't think Rihanna is pretty.
She's not. She's sexy and shit.
She is. That's it.
Even when she first came out, though, like I didn't find her attractive in the least.
She wasn't herself when she first. Like,
and then when she cut that hair and dyed it red.
That Umbrella, baby. That Umbrella album.
Yes.
Woo.
Yeah, she started showing us who she was.
Nia Long is on my list.
Okay.
Nia Long is on my list.
Reggie got a good list.
Salma Hayek is always on my list because she aging like a black woman. Okay. Like,
yeah, she is.
Salma Hayek
she is brown. She brown.
She might be using those sperm facials though.
Oh.
Wait, what?
You know, okay, so
yes.
Did she just drop like a bomb? Well, she was just like, boom.
She did. Yes.
Tell us more.
You get sperm, put it on your face for about 20 minutes, then wash it off.
I mean,
it keeps your skin tight and glowing.
So when it come down to it, like that's
okay.
Like,
no.
You asked who would be a cut buddy. I mean, I feel like that's a mutual relationship.
Wait, I have a question.
Me too.
And second of all, how did you know this? And
okay, so let's talk about sperm.
Oh God.
Yes. Oh, and Connie, can we talk about Tay Diggs after this?
Oh, girl.
Yes.
Okay. So wait. We're going.
That's not a very good segue. Like you realize she was just like, let's talk about sperm, and he was like, ooh, can we talk about Tay Diggs too?
Yes.
Like that's not a really good.
Not that he's attractive in any way because we traded him too a long time ago.
Okay, but wait, the sperm though.
Yes.
It dries up and gets cold and sticky.
Oh my God.
It's fresh.
No, but after 20 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
I heard from Wikipedia.
Right. That it get a little.
And then that's what she said it's going to. Like, I haven't done it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to get it done this weekend or something.
I don't think we should try that.
Wait, time out.
Wait a minute.
Wait. I got a question. I got a question.
I'm going to yield to you.
Okay. My first question is, how do you even find out? Well, let me rewind that. Wait.
Before
it was on a blogger.
Wait.
I said I wasn't gonna cuss tonight.
Wait, Reggie, before you get to your question, Elected Peach said there's actually a sperm cookbook too.
Okay, I need her to log on.
Hey, I like her tweets though. Her Twitter is lit.
So who when you go to get it done, like I'm assuming I mean, maybe if you're not going to get it done, but if you're going to get it done,
I think you just do it at home. I hope you do it at home.
You ask your male friend, your boo thing, or whatever. Can I get some of your sperm?
And you just kind of like hit it like
you put it on your face.
You hit it like it's good. It's like
it's a sperm mask. Yeah.
Does it peel off?
No.
Have you ever, you know how eggs, like egg yolk,
please tell me.
Egg white, yes. You know how egg white, when it dries,
right?
How it looks?
I mean, I know what sperm looks like.
Okay, I guess you would.
I'm just saying, like,
Okay,
Y'all,
so no,
first of all, I just want to know, where did this come from? Like, are people actually taking this?
Yes, it's a sperm. It's a girl.
Face?
Yes, it's a girl. She's a blogger, and she has what is it, psoriasis? I think she has like real bad. And she said nothing was working, and so she Googled like sperm facials, and she tried it. And her friend comes every day with a fresh cup of sperm, and she puts it on her face.
If you use a good batch, right? See, that's the thing. She clarifying on her Twitter, Eclectic Peach. Y'all follow her. She has great tweets. She said it has healing qualities if you use a good batch, and that's the thing. Y'all don't just be using anybody.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, and
this is about safe sex. That's unsafe.
Would y'all use future sperm for sperm facial?
First of all, we're gonna go ahead and exclude Kid Noble from the word God in this conversation. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit back on this.
Okay, listen. I would not use Nevadia's sperm if my house was on fire and that was the only listen. I would not use Nevadius's, exactly. Let me say his name the right way. Nevadius's sperm. If I had not had water in 10 days, 100 days, 10,000 days, forget Nevadius because he's a fuckboy. I agree.
So wait a minute, is this
sperm don't have nothing to do but the power to impregnate you?
Is this why Gabrielle Union's skin looks good on being Mary Jane? Because, you know, she was keeping old boy stuff in the refrigerator, wasn't she?
But she was just using it so she could impregnate herself.
Yeah, she wasn't putting that on her face. Y'all, just for the record, I don't recommend putting nobody.
No, but see, if you
because what they eating? If your man is eating the family,
she did say that.
Sperm on your face, right? Because
but like, what if you get ready for work in the morning and you wash your face and you miss? Hey, wait a minute, and you miss a spot. So then you at work all day.
Different. It's missing a spot and intentionally taking your sperm and rubbing it in.
Listen. What if, like, as if you a woman that does that, like you in the morning you putting your little sperm facial on, right? And when you wash it off, let's say you forget a spot, and so you get to work and you got dry sperm on your face all day at work. Then second, how embarrassed would you be if somebody walked up to you and was like, "Yo, you got something like right on your I'm from St. Louis.
You got something
like, we know.
You got a little like right here in your eyebrow, like."
Well, if it was an accident and you ain't know, then that's sad. If you put sperm on your face at any time and rub it in and think, what I mean by is bad sperm, like, because I just want to stick to that. Right. It gotta be quality. You know, you need to verify. And even then, I'm not gonna do it, but I can understand maybe.
The sperm need a blue check. That's what you said.
Yeah, the sperm certificate. So that's what tonight's show is about. I'm just saying, if you got
give me the Carfax.
Right, like if you got the receipts on what your man eating and you know what I'm saying, and he good, then do it. If your man out here drinking beer and
I enjoy sex just as much as the next man. But like I like if my girl was like, yo.
But if it helped with her like skin condition.
No. The next time, if she was like, yo, next time you fap, just go ahead and put it in the cup for me and put it in the refrigerator. Like I'll be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, is there not a better method that we can go here that?
Be sure that you are following at Real Drunk Show on Twitter. We just retweeted Eclectic Peach, and Natural Harvest is the name of the cookbook, and it is a collection of
Natural Harvest
recipes.
Why I gotta be called Natural Harvest?
Fontenau? Something I can't pronounce his last name. But
But why I got to be called Natural Harvest?
So I have a question for you, Reggie, since you didn't want to answer the first question. If you had a skin problem and you needed to do a sperm facial, would you use your own?
I'm not doing a sperm facial.
Not even with your own?
No.
So you would just walk around with breakouts?
I'll find another solution.
Nothing else is working though.
We gonna keep looking then.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Connie, your cut buddy in your head.
Justin Timberlake.
Mm.
Always been. Yeah. I got a little thing for the white boo. Jake from State Farm. Scandal Scott Foley. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, Jake.
He could get it.
Jake could get it.
Do I got to name a white person then, since we're saying white people?
Yes, we are inclusive.
Okay. I mean, so Salma Hayek ain't close enough.
That's fine.
No. What's Scarlett Johansson?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Redhead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Kate Beckinsale is attractive too. And I guess Jessica Biel is still on my list too.
Really? Jessica Biel? She's boring. She's dry. Oh. I'm hating because she's just a wife, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I was surprised they got together too because she seemed a little slow for him.
Right.
I mean, you said cut buddy. You ain't say life partner.
Well, that's true.
Okay, true. But I would think that you would want some excitement out your cut buddy. Like, in my head, Cam Newton is my husband, but when he doesn't act right, I call Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
How do we manage to talk about Cam Newton every single week I'm on this show?
We do it when you're not on the show either.
I know. What? Like...
Because one day he's gonna find me on YouTube, and then
he's still not gonna want you.
I will get my Hennessy and chicken wedding reception.
I can't.
Y'all not coming to my Hennessy and chicken wedding reception?
Is it Popeyes?
I was gonna do something a little homemade, but you know, it's gonna be as good or better than Popeyes. It won't be less than.
Can I get something other than Hennessy?
Why not Hennessy?
I mean, Hennessy is trash.
Oh.
It is. I don't. It is. I'm not gonna apologize for that.
It's that trash?
It's
pretty trashy.
I don't drink Hennessy.
Hennessy can be. Hennessy is like Viagra. I'm just trying to send everybody home for a good night.
I mean, frankly, it's other alcohols that could act as Viagra that are better than Hennessy.
Wait. Yes, alcohol is Viagra? For both genders, or does it just,
No, for both.
Oh, okay. Which kinds? Let's say it again for the latecomers. Sorry. Yeah, she can hear me. I take it in with me. We good. Appreciate it. IT. You got to have IT when you can't work at electronics. No.
So, Shayna, who's your cut buddy in your head?
I told y'all the first person that popped in my head was Rihanna.
You only have one. Everybody else had like 2, 3.
Idris Elba, especially when he uses his British accent. Yes.
Okay.
From time to time,
I can speak with a British accent.
Yeah, but listen, Reggie, you need to stop doing this. You need to let these people know that you are chosen. Because don't be having these ladies talking about you can use a British accent. And then they fantasizing about you, and then they can't really have you. Everybody don't like the window shop, Reggie. Because he be doing this. Like, he like to flirt on the TL, and then, try to pretend like don't nobody love him, and the ladies don't want him. Reggie, stop. Reggie is chose. So, and I don't even know his significant other. I don't know her. Shout out to her, though, because Reggie cool as shit. But
I know her.
Yes, Reggie shows.
Wow.
Hi, Reggie.
Up here talking about rubbing on the booty.
With the what's the Flavor Flav? Wow.
Reggie, do you have a rebuttal?
I'm above such things.
Receipt. Exactly.
Back and forth banter and rebuttals. So.
Oh goodness.
A mess.
Speaking of relationships and being chosen and stuff, Steve Harvey gave us some relationship advice on how to know
I'm just mad. I had that video. Did y'all watch the video?
You're the only one
yes, I did. Yes, and my friends watched it. We all was like,
what did he say in the video? I didn't watch the video.
He was like, women know they men ain't shit. It's like, well, but you've been married 3 times, so you didn't know those women's won't work your while? I'm just confused.
Wait, can we talk about the fact that the wife he has now is a gold digger?
Like, to me, did he only marry Marjorie for eye candy? Because that's what it seems like to me.
I mean, she only married him for money, so those relationships usually work.
So it's just a business arrangement?
What's wrong with you, Shayna?
She probably mad she had to watch that video.
Well, let's keep it on the video because, look, we all have been redeemed and bought by a price, right? Okay, so I don't want to talk about. I just want to talk about the fact that he tried to make it seem like it was the women's fault. Hold on, stop. What's in this water bottle? I don't like the fact that he tried to make it seem like it was a woman's fault that she encountered a fuckboy. Like she knew he was a fuckboy from the beginning. Like, don't you think that any woman, okay, having encountered a fuckboy before, he didn't appear as a fuckboy initially. Being covert was a part of the right? If you a good fuckboy, you got to be able to hide. Everybody ain't out here showing their tendency.
Then he was like, wait. Then he was like, oh, well, don't be. You know how women say, oh, I'm just gonna date around until till the one comes. Then he was like, basically telling her, don't date around because you eating lunch with the wrong one, but the right one looking at you, but he can't come through because you eating lunch with the wrong one. Don't do that, lady.
Okay,
so I'm just supposed to sit at home until.
Okay, let me make something clear. I don't agree with Steve Harvey in this discussion. Okay, let me make that clear.
Yes.
But
I knew the butt was coming.
Mama always said that the writing is always on the wall, right?
But what if you ain't seeing the right walls?
Okay, hold up. Okay, my name ain't Steve. The writing is always on the wall. Now, if you don't see it, hey, but there is always, like, I know, at least, I mean, for me, personally, every situation that I've been in that has gone to the wayside for whatever reason, in hindsight, there was always something that I'm like, damn, I wish I had paid that attention.
But how much of that is you weren't paying attention, and how much of it is hindsight is 50-50? You have the context to understand what that was.
Some of it is hindsight, but a lot of it, I mean, so as I've grown, there have been times, like, as my relationships have progressed, and as I've gotten older.
So you are in a relationship?
What? As my relationships have progressed and I've gotten older, when I encounter certain things, the older I get, it's things that in the past I would have just been like, nope, I'm gonna overlook that because I want to be happy and I like this person and she's cool and this and the other. I don't want to be alone, right? As I get older, I recognize those things, number one, more readily because I've seen them before. But two, I don't allow myself to overlook things like that.
Well, let me define who I'm talking about, just for the context of the conversation. To me, a fuckboy is a person that portrays themselves to be something that they're not in order to get or have sex or be with or get something from a woman.
Okay.
Because I don't think that growing up and exploring is a part of that. I'm talking about people who actively seek out and pretend to be somebody else and out here lying and pretending and then be like, you should have known that I was lying. Wait, what? And so that's basically what Steve was saying, and that if you date around before you find the one, that the one might not approach you. And I just feel like if they the one, they gonna shoot their shot, whether they with you.
But see, and the thing is, the whole aspect of the one, like, first of all, that's that there's only one. Right. So that's the first mistake in that, because there's more than one, I believe. You know what I mean?
I think so too.
Me too.
And then the end of, even if it is only one, if they are truly the one, then I will end up with them regardless.
Right. You gonna shoot your shot anyway, and ain't nothing gonna stop me from being with you.
I just don't like the fact that Steve Harvey just places all the blame on women. It's the women's fault for everything. Like,
well, see, and see, like, this is my thing, like, so, and I've said this on the show before, right? So when it comes to that book, to his book, right?
Trash.
I never read it.
Garbage. Coaster. Don't read it.
Dang. I don't agree with the standpoint of the book in putting the onus fully on women, right? I don't agree with that. There are, however, some points in the book that do make sense because they are how men think. I'm not saying that that means that it's right or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
you see all these caveats he's giving?
Yeah, he's working his way through it.
We see each other. Yes.
Okay.
You don't know
I'm not saying I agree with the standpoint that the book makes, because it does put the onus fully on women, and that's not a place that we need to be.
We know that radio is for the women, y'all.
But I do agree. Like, when I read the book, because I did read the book, I had heard a lot about it or whatever, and I was curious, right? And when I read it, it actually helped me understand some things about myself and why I, in the past, have done certain things or thought certain ways. And in some of those instances, did I change the way I thought? Yeah. In some of those instances, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's just how. That's how I am, you know.
So, do you think that women hold the power? Then we hold the power? Do you think so?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. That women do hold the power. Yes.
Yes, you do.
And I would just like to say that I did read the book, and I agree with Kid Noble in that, you know, just like when you go to a black church, right? Like, or any church, every sermon that you hear or every lecture that you hear is not going to be good, but you can always get something from, you know, every time that you read or you listen to something or whatever, right? So I do agree with that notion that he presents, is that women have to take control over the choices that we're making too, right? Because some of us are just out here being reckless. And then be like, I don't understand how this happened to me. And you just be like,
you have to own your choices. You have
to walk in your truth.
Yeah, I mean, because one, like a perfect
you
example,
hold the power. Right? I can't do to you
a big conversation that was on the timeline after that book came out was about the 90-day rule, right? And I think that for a lot of people, they maybe missed the point of the night. Like, it's not so much that you need to wait 90 days before you have sex with a guy. Like, that's not the point, right? The point was more so just to make sure that you were going into doing it with clear intention on both parts, right? And if that takes 3 days, fine, right? But if you just running around jumping in bed with every single guy, yeah, you might not come across a guy that wants to fully commit to you, because they know that they can get what they, you know, because when it comes down to it, every guy, sex is on the mind, whether we are looking for a relationship or not.
Ladies think about sex too.
Right. But in the framing of the conversation, we're talking about from the man's standpoint. So when it comes down to it, that is what we are all looking for.
Yes.
And that's going to be at the forefront of our mind. Even when I meet the woman, you meet the woman of your dreams, who you were like, you see her, you be like, I'm going to marry her. If she turn around and walk away, you're going to be like, damn, look at her ass.
Yes.
It's something that's there, right?
I agree.
But the whole point of the 90-day rule is to make sure that you are going into that sexual part of the relationship with a clear conscience in mind and clear intent.
Okay.
And that's the point that everybody missed. Like, everybody was just like, oh, 90 days.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't about 90 days.
You're right, Reggie.
So, do you think we missed it because we were reacting, or do you think we missed it because Steve Harvey is a piss poor communicator?
Well, I blame that on his editor too, though. Because it's the job of the editor to sort of shape the voice of your text. Right?
I think a lot of it was because it was Steve Harvey.
Yes, that's
the messenger.
Because the book was so popular, like, it reached so many different people that it allowed a number of people to talk about it. And I just think that, sometimes you can know if you're entering a bad situation, and sometimes you can have absolutely no idea. And I just feel like you got to take ownership on both parts, because if you know that you're doing somebody wrong, you need to stop. And if you know that you always getting done wrong, you need to ask yourself, what's happening?
Let's see, like what was messed up to me about it is that there are genuinely some people out there in the world who that book helped, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And people talked down about basically anybody who read the damn book, or advocated for anything in the book. You know what I mean? And it's like, if this helps somebody find love and they happy, more power to you. You know what I mean? Like that's wonderful. It's just one of those many tools that are out there. You don't have to read the book. You don't have to abide by what he says in the book. You don't have to do any of that. And people took it as, this is the Bible of dating, and everyone should adhere to this. And that's just wasn't the case. But you know,
about everything, right?
To me, that's how Steve Harvey presented it. Like, this is the book that every woman should be reading. That's what he.
Absolutely.
That's how he presented
it. But on top of that, but think about that though. Steve Harvey makes money off of it, so of course he wants to market it as such, right?
But he still does that to me.
That's because he is a brand, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, that made me itch.
This so good.
Oh,
that's true. Because his show is all about fixing women.
It is. Look, don't listen to 100% of what anybody say about
I agree with that. And I agree. That's the
larger point that I think he's trying to make, which is, let's take his name out of it and just be like, why do we always have to be like 100% accepting of somebody or not?
From the male perspective, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. There is no one on this earth who I agree with 100% of the time. No one. Not the people who I respect most in the world. There are times, and I think Twitter has kind of hindered us to understanding that.
Twitter is groupthink.
It is. It's groupthink, and it's not room to say, "Ooh, this is good. I don't like this person, but that is a good point they made." Or I do like this person, but this is a horrible. Whenever you say, "I don't agree with this," or "this is wrong," it's seen as an attack on a person.
Like that. Matter of fact, it happened to me this morning. Okay, the conversation on the timeline. And I think you retweeted it, kid. The conversation on the timeline. The question was something like, or the person had said something like, I asked on my timeline, I asked the women, who of y'all would you date a guy who said that he couldn't treat you all the time because he was getting his money together or whatever, right? And he put like a little, and he was like, and I got over 100 no's, and then he put a little sad face, and I respect the brother. We still follow each other. You know what I mean? Like, but in that case, like, I was like, why do they owe you that? You know what I mean? Like, I had somebody else come to me that was like, well, that's just so shallow. Like, no, I disagree with you, bro. Like, it's not, we put this whole onus on women should be so submissive to the man and his situation and understanding and all of these. And when it but when it comes down to it, like, we're not entitled to any part of
anything from anybody.
Experience. You know what I mean? Like, we're not entitled to that. Nothing. And so many men think that they're entitled to a woman's time, space, everything. You know what I mean? And a lot of men, we don't even realize it. Because it's something. It's been times for me, like I used to be that guy that's like, I'm a nice guy. Why don't you like me?
Reggie was a nice guy,
I mean, but now we're talking about like my early to mid 20s. You know what I mean? So I have grown and I have learned. But it's just ironic and funny to me that we get so upset about people who. Well, number one, we only want them, but number two, they don't want us. Like, why are you so annoyed that someone is not interested in you?
Just let it go, girl or boy.
Because when it comes down to it, like, if you don't want me, I don't want to convince you to be with me, because it's not like what kind of experience is that?
It's a dreadful experience.
Dude, yes, it is.
It's hard though. It's hard to accept, for some people that you're not wanted, and that can happen in a number of ways, right? Like at work, it can happen when kids grow up and they stop wanting to hang out with them for real. You know, it can happen in any relationship, but look, don't try to stick to nothing that ain't trying to stick to you, baby, because at the end of the day, it's draining you.
And then you wondering why you unhappy in your relationships all the time because you dating a whole bunch of people that really don't want you.
True.
You gotta want you first though before you can recognize that.
And you said something really great the other day. When you said women, Shayna, we were having a tweet exchange, which I should have put that topic on the list, but it's not on there.
I mean, it's show. It's show. You can
right. So we were talking about having the hall pass conversation, and Shayna said,
"Oh yeah, I abstained from that one."
Shayna said, often women value their relationships more than they value themselves. And I thought that was good.
Listen, and I'm just saying all of this is trial by fire.
I agree with that.
Because it's trial by fire because I have been there. And I thank God that I was there before and at that point. And, you know, that I'm not there now.
This was Reggie, y'all.
When she only like drugs.
I mean, so wait a minute. So low key in middle school, I did have a FUBU sweater vest.
No.
I mean, but this 20 years ago though.
No, I get it. I get it. Reggie was like, I'm a good guy. Choose me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hall pass situation. I can't believe Toya would put up with that. Like. That's just something that I
want. How did it start? How did it start? Did it start with like T.I. or start with, who did it start with?
The hall pass situation?
Yeah.
Well,
I stayed out of it.
It came up twice in the past, 2 weeks or so. First,
because Monique has, her husband does hall passes too.
So Toya and Misfits were on this show. I think it's on Bravo.
Yeah, Untying the Knot.
Untying the Knot, where they are. Now, I didn't watch the show, so help me understand. They are separating, and they're talking about the problems that they had in their relationship, or are they trying to get back together?
Y'all don't do this.
No, Untying the Knot is like she comes in to assess their assets. So they can go headed through the divorce. And let me tell you something. Mickey is a fool because he bought all this jewelry thinking he was getting a great deal when it appraised for like $41,000 and he spent over like $80,000.
Yeah, stop.
He gave Toya a flawless diamond ring, but it had inclusions. It was a mess.
Okay, so with hall pass, like this is my thing with hall passes, right?
Damn.
If you want a hall pass in your relationship, you go right ahead. Just know that relationship that you have is not going to be with me because we ain't doing the hall pass.
Well, the problem is that if he gets hall passes, she should get hall passes too.
And that is my thing.
The argument was saying that, well, she can't get a hall pass because she's a woman. She has a vagina.
What?
Me?
Double standard.
And that was the conversation Shayna and I had. And it was basically, you do whatever makes you happy in your relationship. However, make sure it is fair to you, and make sure you understand why you're doing it. Because I just don't. If you come to me and you ask, if I understand the consequences. If you come and ask me for a hall pass, then I'm like, well, shit, where's my hall pass?
Well, see, and this is my thing. Like, and the reason that I'm not about to do no hall pass, like, in a wonderful world, could I have a hall pass and the person I'm dating or my wife or whoever not have a hall pass? Like, would I prefer that? Of course. But number one, I know that's not fair. And two, it's not the fact that she's a woman that I don't want her to have a hall pass. It's the fact that she's mine and I don't want her to have a hall pass. Right. So even if I was, hypothetically, let's say I was a gay man and I got my husband right here, like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to have a pass because,
I don't want to share. I'm not good at sharing.
But listen, wait.
For me, it has nothing to do with it being a woman.
And plus, I'm scared of disease.
Okay, yes, because disease is real. Safe sex, y'all, is the best sex.
Just put the semen on your face and you'll be all right.
Don't do that if your man eat American Deli dough. What I want to say is people should have the choices. People should have the choice to do what they want to do, right? But I was also saying that we often don't think through all of the consequences of our decisions, right? So, like, if somebody asks you for a hall pass, the first question is it really, 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 really okay with me that this person wants to express themselves with somebody else in that way? If that answer is yes, you also need to ask yourself, so you make sure you don't have a little mo situation on your hand. Am I okay with the possibility that or do I understand that if my partner opens him or herself up in that way to someone else, that may also unlock them opening up themselves to that person in ways that y'all didn't agree with initially? You understand what I mean? Because sometimes you might just
can't feel it
after that, right? Sex is an emotional act as much as it is physical, right?
Well, I mean,
so I think that we just don't
the
think about
emotional part of it. Like, frankly, you know, I mean, I have an ego, right? And so if my woman came to me and was like, you know, yeah, I want to have a hall pass or open relationship and have sex with other people, like my first thought is, am I slipping? Like,
yes, right.
And that's most people's first thought. Right. Like, damn. What is
and
it?
I understand that in the real world, like, monogamy has nothing necessarily to do with the fact that you are not satisfying me. You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
Exactly.
But I have a fragile ego, and I'm willing to admit that's the other reason I'd be like, no, like, you know, because what if it's better? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's better than me? And then I want to really feel, because then, like, you don't know.
Yes, because then you don't want to keep doing it, baby.
Right. Like, right. And so if she's doing it, like, let's say I said I let it happen once, and then she never asked again, all right, cool. You know what I mean? But, like, if she came and was like, yes, I think we should do a hall pass again,
she ain't doing it. High
I
five,
would be like,
so we have a poll up at Real Drunk Show on Twitter. I was trying to pin it, but I can't for some reason.
Does this say put the semen? Well,
didn't I say on your face?
Don't do it if your man eat American Deli though.
Yeah.
Because
okay. So 83% of the people say women hold the power in a relationship, and 17% say women do not.
Well, listen, this is not a yes or no question for real though, because it really depends on the dynamics of the relationship. You know, like, look at Tiny.
But come on now, Brett.
But women do hold the power, though.
Like, come on,
we do, though. We have to first know. You got to know that you hold the power. That's what I'm saying. And everybody has not been enlightened to that level of consciousness yet. And so that's why you don't know. But you got to know that you hold the power. No. And also the thing is, no, because I'm going to tweet and rant for the single friend that I have, right? Like, no, you could know that, you know what I'm saying, I have morals and values, right? But for everything that you not doing, somebody else is out here willing to do. And they got your same level of education. They got your same smile, your same ass, your same shoe collection. At the end of the day, no, they not you. I'm just saying, we all gotta agree, ladies, that, you know, can we just come to some collective understanding about some shit that we ain't gonna tolerate from anybody no more? If we do hold the power, that's what I'm saying. So you gotta know that you hold the power, and then we gotta make some collective agreements that we just not gonna stand for this. Because a dude thinks that if you don't open yourself up to them, like, what if I don't want to send you nudes in the beginning? What if I don't want you to meet my friends? But if you do this, then you're closed off. And every standard that you have, somebody else will do it. And some of this stuff we shouldn't be doing. Or should we? Who am I to say that?
You gotta know who you're dealing with, really.
And how do you really know who you're dealing with?
How do I always end up
we have intuition. We just saw you.
Come on, Connie. We have. Wait a minute. If you
time out.
It was the face before. You got to run before you do this. Y'all see it and put this lady picture and then tell me nobody was coming. So I just opened this, like, where this lady picture come from?
I felt like I was being judged. Like,
yeah, it's like she looking at you like, you know, you shouldn't be on here saying this shit.
Right. She looking like I put semen on my face and it didn't work.
Right. What happens when you put semen on your face and your man eat American Deli? Let me from my account.
So, funeral home director was arrested after bodies were found in her garage.
Wait, I'll be back.
So, they posted this picture on Twitter, and of course, Twitter said. So, of course, Twitter said, "Is that the director or is that one of the bodies?"
See.
So,
Yes, that's right. That lady, that's what happened when you do that semen facial and your man eat trash.
She looked like the Tin Man from The Wiz.
Speaking of The Wiz, y'all excited for the live show? Kia, how is that gonna work now? Where they gonna do it live?
I'm not excited.
Okay, so here's the thing. I often hate things that other people love. Like Stevie Wonder.
You hate The Wiz. You got to go. Kia, I ain't doing your show no more. You don't like Stevie Wonder. You don't like The Wiz. Like,
I am not a fan. Okay, so growing up, we watched a lot of Wizard of Oz. And I'm just not a fan of the Wizard of Oz story, which makes me not really a fan of The Wiz. It was just also corny to me, even as a kid. However,
you know, I feel like you have the right to disagree, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. But just know that you are being judged right now. Just know.
However, I do plan on watching the Wiz live. I think I'm excited about it. How is that gonna work,
Kia, though? Like, because it's not. I mean, it's live like what?
I think it's live like live.
Like, no, but like how does that work? Tell me. So they're gonna shoot it live, but they're in the studio.
I guess we're gonna find out when they come on.
Has this ever been done before, or am I old?
Didn't they do Cinderella live with Brandy and all of that? Wasn't that live?
I don't know if it was live. I know they did a musical, but I think, but you know, they used to do sitcoms live, or no, they did those filmed in front of a live studio audience. Most of those, but there is one sitcom that, and I don't know what it is because I don't watch it, so I don't remember. But there was one that filmed live this year because they would
it was
the Carmichael show.
No,
because they would tweet as they were doing the show.
I can't think of the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. It's a white people show.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
They did The Sound of Music live. Eclectic Peach said.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how this works. When does it come on? December 3rd?
December 3rd, yeah.
Okay, good. I was thinking it was the 1st.
Did y'all ever tell me about the alcoholic Viagra?
Oh,
I was talking tequila.
Oh, okay.
We were just talking about alcohol. That's all. It wasn't nothing.
Oh, so it's not no specific kinds that you get there for the people, because I believe in good sex.
It's whatever alcohol works for you.
No, well, I will say I had an experience. Never mind.
No, please say it.
That's the story, Kia.
You can't do that. I hate those friends. Listen, don't ever start telling me no shit and then be like, never mind, I can't tell you. Like, don't do that. If you do that, we ain't friends.
There was a night when he was drinking Hennessy and it was like never ending, and I was like, look.
Y'all know what? I can only drink Hennessy on New Year's because, baby,
you have to stop now.
Hennessy turned me into somebody else, honey. Yes. Listen,
Sasha Fierce.
Hennessy will get you there.
Reggie, are you frozen or are you in shock?
No, I'm just listening.
He works and he don't want to say nothing.
I'm saying I don't like
Hennessy is trash.
Oh, wait a minute, Reggie. Okay, see, and let me just say that this is an inclusionary space because to some people, the fact that you don't like Hennessy is equal to the fact that Kia don't like the Wiz.
Exactly.
That's fine, and that's
fine. So don't judge Kia.
But
look,
for me,
the show. I hate black stuff.
Hennessy is like equal to like Smirnoff vodka. Like,
listen, that's why I said no. Hennessy is not equal to Smirnoff.
No,
that's not a good comparison.
I'm not saying they taste the same. I'm just saying like in terms of quality alcohol.
The tiers, the levels, it's low tier. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
There are tiers.
Low tier on New Year's Eve. So if you trying to get low tier on New Year's Eve, y'all at me then because I just like to sometimes do hood rat stuff with my friends on New Year's Eve. Okay?
But there are tiers to Hennessy.
But if you drinking Hennessy on New Year's, apparently you're gonna be doing something ratchet on one of your friends. Listen,
it's not on one of my friends because I'm clear with the fact that I'm chose. Shade again. But listen, I just feel like everybody should have an opportunity to see what Hennessy can or cannot do for you in the bedroom.
Exactly.
That's all. Just try it out.
All this shade. Ooh.
Yes. I've been known.
4 things you need in a relationship. Go.
Oh yeah.
Reggie tweeted this down this morning. Go ahead.
I missed that, Reggie.
Yes, say it again for the people.
Oh, I don't remember what it was. It's from an article.
Come on, y'all, go back to Reggie timeline because he was saying some good stuff, and in order to not feel like
I got it. All right.
Yes.
So for y'all to follow me, I do an article of the day every morning or whatever, right?
It's awesome.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was wondering what the hashtag meant, but now I know.
And that's where this article came from. It's called 4 Things I Need from You in a Relationship. And so, of course, like it read more like a personal blog that a guy wrote about himself. But in reading them, I was like, man, yeah, I feel that, right? So the first one was be true to me. So always be honest. If something's bothering you, let me know that I'm doing. Let me know so that I can fix it. If you don't want my help fixing it, then tell me and I'll leave you alone. But always just be honest and open and true.
Don't hide. That's what he said. Right? He said, don't hide from me because it will make me want to hide from you. That was a word.
He did. He said, and I quote, I won't hide anything from you regardless of what happens. So you shouldn't feel like you need to hide anything from me. And if you do feel like you need to hide things, there better be some sort of scavenger hunt going on. Otherwise, you'll be on a scavenger hunt of your own for a new boyfriend.
Yes. And that's real because when you hide things, you take away people's choices.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very true. I say that a lot.
And we have all been guilty of it in the past, but we're still all evolving on the journey. Keep going.
I'm a saint. Number two was be true to yourself. So he was talking about like don't be insecure about anything. Don't worry about me judging you because the chances are I've already done that and I'm still here. So don't be insecure about those things.
One more time. Say it again.
Don't worry about
this is good stuff.
It is.
Don't worry about me judging you because the chances are I've already judged you and I'm still here, right? And I'm choosing to be here. And that was another article I talked about another day. Like I know all of those things. We were transparent in the beginning. If we were, then I know all of that stuff. Like I know, and I'm still here, right? So that was being true to yourself. Let's see, what else did they have? Anything? This was the part that I really liked. He said, I might even tell you I think you're perfect, but don't be panicked by that statement. If I say it, I mean it. And what I mean is that your imperfections are what make you unique, and they are exactly why I like you.
That's the step I'm on right there, step 3. I'm on that step.
I really enjoyed that. The third one was let me be myself. And so that one, he talks about how, he says, I'm complicated, I'm difficult, I'm stubborn, I'm intense, I'm going to say and do things that make you uncomfortable because I do and say things that make myself uncomfortable. But all I ask is that you allow me to do these things for the sake of my progress as a person. So in essence, like don't stifle my growth.
Yes, because it makes you uncomfortable.
Because it makes you uncomfortable. Because just like I've accepted you, you need to accept who I am and all of my imperfections and flaws and all of that stuff. If you're going to choose to continue to be here, you have to allow me to be who I am. You can't change that. Now, it also says, support the things that I do, the things that I'm passionate about. You might not agree with everything I believe, but you stand behind me and have my back, right? And that's something that I've always talked about is important for me is even if you don't agree with what I decide to do, at least have my back. Right? Because if you don't have my back, I'm going to lose respect for you.
Show me that you have my back. Don't tell me. Show me.
The last one, and this one hit home for me because I definitely need this sometimes, but it was save me from myself.
Yeah.
Woo! Come on.
It was talk when I need to listen, shut me up when I'm saying something that don't make sense, tell me when I'm wrong, call me out for being a hypocrite. For me, like personally, like I told you before, I have a ego, right? And so when my ego is bruised, some of the things, I tend to.
We're all fallible.
I avoid this at all costs, but I do things that aren't right. You know what I mean?
All fallible.
I need someone that holds me accountable. And then the last part of it that really, I really love this part, but it said, convince me to let go once in a while to throw caution to the wind. Sometimes I tend to overanalyze situations, resulting in pessimism. But when I call this feeling realism, push me to be optimistic. And that's something that I always do. People say I'm being pessimistic, and I'm like, no, I'm just being real. Like, this is what it is. He said, push me to dream a little bigger and get caught up in my dreams. And when I stray too far from the ground, pull me back down to earth and remind me that I'm only human.
That was a great article.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I have gone from being optimistic to realistic in my life.
Well, sometimes you got to be real with yourself. It's a balance, though.
No,
you know, it's a balance.
I think it's a good thing.
But I think that sometimes our realities, the way we look at them, come across so negative. They are so negative that realism tends to look like pessimism, right? But I mean, that's something, like I said, that I struggle with. I get inside of my own head a lot.
You better be. You should.
And when I get inside of my head, I tend to start overthinking things and seeing things that aren't there and all of those things. So I need somebody who can pull me out of that. Yes. But on top of that, I need somebody that knows how to pull me out of that, right?
You got to be credentialed. You got to be credentialed. Come on.
If you say the wrong thing to me, I'm going to shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can tell me, get over it, or do this and that, and I'm going to be like, like, so yeah. I thought really it comes down to just knowing.
Can you retweet it?
Being in tune with your partner.
And I think also reading the book, The 5 Love Languages, helps.
That was
knowing your partner's love language is.
That was 2 days ago. I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So at Mighty Ashwell said you know her?
I've never met her in person, but
okay, but you Twitter now.
I know.
She said that the 4 things she needs in a relationship was quality time, gifts, silliness, and personal space.
Wait, who did you say was the Twitter handle again?
Ashwell.
Might as well. I'm surprised she didn't say nothing ratchet.
So, do y'all have 4? Do y'all have 4 things that y'all need that weren't in the article?
Listen.
I need passion.
Quality time,
passion. That's
like
good.
I'm a very, and like Libras get a bad rap about not being passionate about anything, but like Libras are passionate. Like they're passionate about the things that we're passionate about. I mean, there are certain parts about me that are so passionate, and the things I don't care about, like I do not care about. But the things that I am passionate about, like I am extremely passionate. And when I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm extremely passionate about my relationship and the person that I'm with. Yes. And so if I'm not getting that same effort and passion coming back to me, then I don't feel like it's a safe space emotionally. I don't feel like it's a safe space emotionally, and I'll shut down.
I'm not giving you what you're not giving me.
I think my feelings to be validated and to reciprocate.
Yes.
Give what you get. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, I need people that's gonna be able to tell me the truth, like in all of my relationships, right? Even when it's gonna hurt me, I might roll my eyes at you. I might be like, "Who you?"
First of all, let's take the word "might" out of this. You're gonna do it.
Yeah, you do. You're right, Reggie. You're right.
Like, but I'm gonna do blah blah blah. I might do this, and I'm like, no, you're gonna do it. Right?
Right. And I just will maybe not do it out loud. You're right, but I need you to say what you're gonna say to me anyway. Because I recognize that, you need another perspective of yourself outside of yourself in order to go where I'm trying to go. And, I need you to be strong enough to tell me, like, Shayna, you're great, but, and go. But don't tell me that if you ain't got no credentials now. You can keep your comments to yourself. I don't need opinions. I need valid and constructive from people who are credentialed and know what they talking about. Because, sometimes people be giving opinions about stuff, and they ain't really credentialed enough to be trying to tell you what you should be doing about your situation.
See, I don't like I'm kind of on the fence with that part though, because there's been times, number one, when I have so it's weird, right? I will get someone who will DM me who I have interacted with like one time on my timeline, and they will be like, can I ask you something, because you seem to really know what you're talking about with relationships and this and the other, and it's the weirdest thing to me, because one, like, I don't be knowing these people and they tell me like all their business, but two,
that's happened to me too.
It's just weird, right?
Yeah.
But I'm flattered because they trust me enough to share that with me. Highly enough for me to ask my opinion. But there are times when I have totally read somebody just based on what they've briefly told me in a small interaction.
Yes,
and
that's
I may
true.
and to them, like, I may not be credentialed in the sense that I know who they are, but I just read who they were.
And that's what I mean. I'm talking about in a situation where you're in relationship with someone that does know you enough to even approach you that way. Because sometimes you can be in relationships and people do not create a space for you to be honest with them. And they don't want you to be honest with them. And I'm just saying, in order for you to be in a relationship with me, I need you to be able to tell me the truth. But I don't need you to tell me your opinion. I need you to be able to have some receipts to back up why you're saying what you're saying. Otherwise, I just may not take you as seriously. That's my fault and has nothing to do with you. But you need to be able to tell me the truth anyway.
I don't know how he pronounces this. At MAHB20 says he needs mouth, ass eating, thumb and butt, and good food.
Oh, okay.
Eclectic Peach said, I need honesty, passion, mutual vulnerability, and patience. I'm trying to get my list down.
Why ain't nobody saying they need their password?
Oh, I don't. But you know what? I don't want your password.
I don't want the password either.
Me either.
Some people do want the password. I feel like, listen, the problem is when you try to reach for it one day and they try to take it from you. That's really when you know the problem is. Or I feel like Connie said earlier, though, it's that intuition. You know the problem comes long before the action comes.
So you mean like the writing is on the wall? Like I said.
Yes, come on, mama. Yes, because you know I ride with your mom. She had that ladder up in the background that time, remember? That was me tweeting you about that? Yes. I ride with your mama, Reggie. Listen, I don't know her, but shout out to your mama. You got to follow that gut. But again, you got to be able to make a space for your gut to talk to you about some stuff.
That's why you got to unbutton your pants when you finish eating.
Exactly.
You got space for the gut.
Yes, you got to make room for that gut so that you can, know when to stop.
Well, it's all about trust, right? And they show you if they can't be trusted with small things, they can't be trusted with big things, right?
For example, what's a small thing?
I don't even know. Small
what's the example of a small thing?
I mean, it's just
okay. I got something small.
It's as basic as you doing what you say you're going to do.
True.
If your actions and words don't line up, then I'm never going to trust you with the big stuff, because when you said you were going to bring lunch when you showed up, you didn't.
Like for me, like if you let's say for instance you pick me up, or just in a relationship, like one person picks the other person up from work every day, right? If they are habitually late every single day, if it's me, I'm gonna feel like I can't rely on you to do certain things, because you can't even pick me up from work on time, and I get off of work at the same time every day. And it's different if there's a mitigating factor, like
that's probably how Cameron feels about me.
But I mean, well, no, honestly.
Shout out to Cam. What up, Cam?
That's how I feel about my mom with church, right? So like growing up, like we went to the same church for 20 years, and church started at the same time every day, and we were late every day.
My mom didn't play that shit.
Every day.
But it's a level of respect for the house of the Lord.
At Swarthy Pretense says trust, ambition, entertainment, and multiple intelligence. I love that you said multiple intelligence.
Multiple intelligence, come in the room.
Yes. I think mine is going to be honesty, respect, adoration, which goes with the passion. I need to know that you value me and you adore me and you want me.
Tell me how you feel about me. You know what I mean? Beyond I love you and I miss you. Like just
and acceptance.
What do you love about me? You know what I mean?
And acceptance. Just accept me for who I am. I'm a lot. I'm weird, but I'm good and I'm awesome.
Yes.
I think honestly, what it comes down for me that is feeling safe. Like I need safety, right?
Yes.
I need to have a safe space.
Oh yes.
And that is all encompassing. That is all encompassing of all of those things of honesty, of adoration. I need to, because if I don't feel safe in my relationship, I'm like I will shut down and I will back away because
you can't be there. You're not present.
And like believe it or not, like I tell people all the time, they never believe me. I am a very, very closed off person. Like extremely, right? And but people, people that follow on my timeline and all, they be like, "Oh, no, you're not. Like you, whatever." Like emotionally, I am very compartmentalized. Like all of it lies right here, and you don't get in right there unless you feel safe enough to open that for you to let you in.
So many
and it's
black
very
people
easy
have
for me to
it.
put you back out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Swampy Pretense said, the little things are you said you'll bring Chick-fil-A and suddenly stopped at El
All right, no, I don't want
Loco.
to. At this point, I would
Yeah,
rather,
don't
I
do
prefer
that.
El
We
Pollo
ain't no
Loco.
more.
Wait, what happened with Chick-fil-A? Because I missed that. And I just had Chick-fil-A.
There's a Chick-fil-A in Texas, and they was all wearing Blue Lives Matter T-shirts.
Let me
Well, you
just
know
say,
what? Back when Obama was running, I can't remember if it was 12 or '08 when I found this out. But my friend, she told me basically Chick-fil-A has always supported their foundation or whatnot. They have always spent money to support conservative political
I knew
efforts.
that.
As far as like family
they're closed on
rights,
Sunday.
which are
They're homophobic.
yeah. Yeah, so my whole thing was every time I went to Chick-fil-A, I would donate whatever I spent to the Barack Obama campaign. That was my way of saying I'm still gonna eat this good godly chicken.
See,
But
my thing was I give somebody like so many chances, right? And so like
yeah.
it came out they was all homophobic, and I was like, I stopped going for a while, and I was like, all right, look, you know what I mean? I went on my little boycott. I'm gonna come back and get Chick-fil-A, but like they done messed up one too many times at this point, and so
I
But I'm
guess
now
surprised that people were surprised about that because they are closed on Sunday and they're closed on Sunday because they say, well, it's the Lord's Day. So I don't understand how people were really shocked and surprised that they have conservative values.
and
I'm not surprised that they have conservative values. I knew that they're homophobic.
Yes, absolutely homophobic.
But there's a certain point, just like with like I was explaining before, like trying to explain to white people who don't get it, right?
Connect the dots.
I'm gonna keep trying to explain until it gets to a certain point where you say some really dumb something, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm done.
well,
And that's what it was for me.
can I hurt y'all feelings and tell y'all another business that y'all love that has that supports conservative politics financially?
Who?
Waffle House.
I know.
Oh, I knew that, but I don't really love Waffle House.
Listen,
in Atlanta, you love Waffle House.
have a stronghold on me.
They do.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
They didn't even fight it. They were like, "Yeah, I know they give money to the Koch brothers, but I'm still gonna get that waffle."
It's wonderful cuisine. I'm like, if Waffle House didn't exist, I'd be okay. Like,
well, I would
not. That's a Southern thing, right?
I'd be sad as shit if Waffle House didn't exist. I'm the chick that will love it. If you take me to Waffle House on Valentine's Day, goddamn it, y'all listen.
What's the wide open?
What's the wide
open?
Yes. Valentine's Day at Waffle House, they do like a special date night or whatever.
You have candles, right?
Yes.
They do that. They do that at White Castle.
Take her to Waffle House, baby. And then y'all go home and do some special shit that you can do for free. Whatever you like to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be sad as shit if Waffle House ever go away. It's Chick-fil-A, Waffle House, they got a stronghold. Y'all pray for my deliverer.
Yeah.
I love them.
I'm okay. I mean, well, and part of it too is in St. Louis we have breakfast places that are way better than Waffle House. Like national chains.
We're finna have to mute Reggie for a second. We'll gotta put you on mute, Reggie.
It was the best breakfast, Reggie.
You said there was better than. Reggie has sinned against Waffle House.
Legitimately cannot say nothing.
Reggie,
you're in time out.
Yeah, Reggie, I muted you, but I can't unmute you. Can you unmute you?
Oh God.
It won't let me from my end.
Wow.
My bad. That's good to know. If I mute someone, I can't unmute them. But Swarthy Pretense said we would have to boycott like Earth if we found out the beliefs and values of corporations. Beliefs and values of corporations.
I agree with them. Let me follow them. And wait, is Mob 20 Weddy Fap or something like that? Is that their Twitter name? Weddy Fap?
Yes.
It's crazy how you know people by their Twitter names now, right? Like you call people and you don't call them their Twitter name.
Wait, what did you ask him? Who?
Mob 20? Is that
Mob
20? Fetty Wap, the person MAHB20.
Yes, okay.
Yes, I follow them. Y'all follow that person too. They funny too. They just don't know that I like them because I usually wear a condom when I tweet.
I
Stop
changed
it.
my profile name too much.
I wear a condom when I tweet, so I just tweet people and they don't know. They don't know I'm talking to them, and it's cool because sometimes you gotta tweet privately.
So okay, we've been talking way too long, and we hadn't even gotten to the stuff we were really supposed to talk about, the safe sex and the refugees.
What we love about this show.
I know. So we're gonna try to do this real quick. Charlie Sheen thoughts. Like your first thoughts with Charlie Sheen.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be interesting how he's going to be able to. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him from here as compared to another person, any other person. Or even compared to Magic Johnson.
But see, I don't know if we can make that comparison because when Magic came out with HIV, we had a completely different context of what it was. And even now, as resistant as we are too, most people know someone who has been infected or who has died.
Do you think about in the way that they treat Charlie? Are you saying in the way that Charlie Sheen will be treated? Softly, with care and concern?
Yeah,
just the way public reaction.
Yes, in the way that we treat people with privilege, when they experience something.
I don't think it's fair to compare Magic Johnson and Charlie Sheen because of where we are with the times and just our understanding of the disease.
Let's compare him to a poor person in 2015.
I mean,
just the fact that he was able to even give an interview. I just want him to. I want to see because I just don't want this to be a Caitlyn Jenner situation where you come out and you do this interview and you tell people that you here for the transgender community. And then you make comments that are the opposite of that. So I just want to see if that was really, if he's really going to become a person that, does the work for AIDS that in a valuable way and HIV, or if he just really did what he said he did, which is the only reason I told y'all is because somebody else was going to tell you and they extorted me.
I don't know if it is in Charlie Sheen as a person to be an advocate for anything.
We all can change. We all can change. We all can change.
We can. But if I were to pick someone who I would think would be an advocate for anything,
it would not be.
It would not be Charlie Sheen.
It wouldn't be him.
If he could be an advocate of foolishness. Hey, somebody change their Twitter name to that. Advocate of foolishness. That's what Charlie
Kia.
Advocate of foolishness. I would change mine, but I like the 2 hours had.
Kia, go ahead.
Advocate of foolishness.
So another thought that crossed my mind with this whole Charlie Sheen thing. In a lot of states, we criminalize people who have sex with who do not disclose that they are HIV positive to their partners. We do not do that with people who have other STDs. Do you think that's fair, or do you think it has to do with how far we still have to go with understanding HIV? I've heard a lot of people say that it shouldn't be criminalized in this Charlie Sheen discussion, and that actually threw me for a loop because I'm like, hell, you sleep with me and don't tell me, then your ass going to jail. But a lot of people I've heard this conversation, and it kind of got me thinking, why don't we criminalize other infections?
I think part of the reason that it's not criminalized with other sexually transmitted diseases is because when those laws were made, it was when people were legit, like HIV and AIDS was a death sentence. Right? And so, if you gave somebody AIDS, they was going to die. And it's not like that with other sexually transmitted diseases. So maybe that needs to change. Maybe it needs to be decriminalized because we are at a point where with the kind of research that's been done and stuff like that, AIDS and HIV isn't an automatic death sentence. Or maybe it needs to be decriminalized some, but then the other STDs needs to be criminalized so that they're on the same level.
And it's only like a 6-month sentence or something in the states that I have heard, and I can't remember which one. There was a guy in Georgia. I should have looked that article up. I apologize. I think he got some time, but he had slept with a couple of different
Well, I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
and the other thing too is
more than 50.
how many times do they apply that the counts though? Like if you have sex with one person multiple times, is that multiple counts? Or if you have sex with more, multiple people, is that multiple counts? Like
That's a good question.
how do they apply all of that?
That's a good question.
Just don't take away people's choices. Don't take away.
Right.
And you know what? And that's with HIV. That's with
everything.
married.
That's you putting your dick in other people or your vagina.
Other people. Just whenever you're entering a relationship, just be honest and
let people decide on based on the truth. Let me make a decision based on the truth.
Right? Like that's what Reggie said earlier. Don't worry about me judging you. I'm already judging you. And every single day that I'm still here is another day that I'm still here. So just give me a choice.
Yeah. But I think Charlie Sheen, back to Charlie Sheen, I just think of course he did that because they were going to explore, they were going to go to the tabloid. But, but I mean, best of luck to him.
But,
Godspeed, brother.
Isn't his responsibility to tell us, though? Like, we asked if he's going to be.
It's not his responsibility to disclose the nature of his health to the general public. It's not.
Right.
But it was going to come out anyway.
But it's still not his responsibility. Regardless, it's not his responsibility to report.
Come on, irregardless.
To report his health status to the public. Is it his responsibility to report that to his primary practitioner? Yes. To his sexual partners? Yes. Maybe even to his immediate family, right? To people that rely on him for certain things.
Okay, I go with that.
The general public? Nah.
No, I felt very uncomfortable because that day on social media, you guys, people were saying so much ignorant shit. Like, and the only thing that I think I tweeted about it was, watch what you say, because chances are you know someone with HIV, you just don't know that they have it.
Yeah.
And you can say, like, watch what you say. You know somebody with blank. Chances are you just don't know that they have it. Like, I don't think people realize how the web really works for real, and that, like, everybody can see this ignorant shit that y'all be out here saying on here. But, like, some of the stuff that they were saying about and safe sex in general, like, y'all remember that? What is the condom
Charlie
thing?
Sheen. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah, it is Charlie Sheen, and I don't care. But if you don't care,
that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why I've been like kind of quiet on this topic, because like I do not
really
care.
It's
Charlie Sheen and watch what you say.
I mean, because when it comes down to it, like no, let me put it like this. Okay, I don't want to come across as too insensitive. Like,
well, I do. I'm too insensitive. I don't give a damn about Charlie Sheen, because he ain't doing nothing for me.
What I say, I would prefer him to not have HIV, of course. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But when it comes down to it, he has it. And like another thing my mom always said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Right. So if that's the lifestyle that he's led and all of that stuff, then he can't blame nobody else for having it but himself.
I think that's also part of the problem. And I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to say that his lifestyle I'm not going to say that his lifestyle didn't lead to him getting HIV. I would never say that. But I think when we say that, we put people who live a safe lifestyle in a comfort zone, when most women who are infected or most
married.
People,
right?
Most people who are infected are infected in monogamous relationships.
Right, but I think the difference is this, though, right? Is in his situation, he was doing drugs and running through women, and it was reckless, right? So can we be surprised? Like, should I be surprised that he got it? No, I'm not surprised that he got. Just like if someone if someone's in a gang, right? You can't be surprised if you get shot if you gang banging. Like that's the environment.
The territory.
And that doesn't, for me, that doesn't trivialize people who were shot, who died by stray bullets.
Because God violence
is horrible. Because that is a surprise. Like, that should not have happened.
It should not happen ever.
Yeah, just Charlie Sheen is just not surprising.
But we just like I mean, before this, I ain't really care about Charlie Sheen. That's what I want to say.
I never really cared about Charlie Sheen. Like when he was doing all that winning and all that, like I just don't. I don't
you know what?
Like it's just not.
And I think that's when he contracted the virus. To me, I think that's when it.
I do too. I was gonna say that was
blood.
about 4 years ago when he was doing that, and I remember on Twitter it was hilarious, and it was and we were retweeting and laughing, and it's like the whole time you knew you were laughing at someone who was in a really bad place and having a breakdown and all this stuff. But then to see that he found out 4 years ago, I really wonder where that is on the timeline. I feel like that was him acting out to the news.
Yeah, because you know what? Because you know what? The people who I know who have AIDS, they you know, like I know one person who found out in like the earlier mid-90s, and that's back when it was, you know, it was pretty much a death sentence. And so he started living his life in a manner that really he just did not care about himself, and he didn't love himself, and he was reckless because he figured, well, shoot, I'm gonna die. Like I might as well, you know, if I kill myself, so what? That's where I'm headed anyway. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was in reaction to him finding out.
Well, he did say that on the interview. He said that all of that was on the heels of, you know, this. I don't know. How does that euphemism work? On the heels of. Does that mean?
I think that means right behind.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, he said, "quote All of this was on the heels of his diagnosis." So
that makes sense.
That was right.
And I remember thinking, this is hilarious, but this man is in such a bad position. Like, if he dies tomorrow, I'm going to feel bad because I am laughing at him.
I didn't even pay him no attention back then, for real.
Hey, the winning was a good contribution to society, though.
It was.
Sometimes we don't celebrate when we win. And can we talk about Cam Newton now?
Winning.
He was celebrating when he was winning.
She's so ready to go off.
Me?
Wait a minute, look, no. Look, her eyebrows all furrowed up. She already rolling her neck.
Be loud. ATL. Shout out to Wayne Lake High School. I went to Colorado.
So, Cam Newton was dancing in the end zone.
Styling them.
Dab.
Yeah, I'm hitting them with it. Like.
and
this mother,
you
wrote
forgot
a
the last
letter.
name. Her last name.
And claimed that her 9-year-old son wrote it. Ain't no 9-year-old wrote that.
Her first name is Mother. No. Her first name is Mother.
Oh, her last name is?
We all know.
So she basically accused Cam of being a bad role model to
her daughter.
She accused
her daughter specifically
a dancing jigaboo, an over-sexualized black man.
But she has no problem. She has no problem with
and a thug. Don't forget a thug, because she implied that he was.
Yeah.
You know what really makes me upset about this situation, and what makes me upset about? No, it makes me upset about Cam in general. He is very much. I want him to be angrier and more vocal than what he is. And this started when he first entered the league, and the owner of the Panthers said, "I want you to be a good, clean quarterback and don't get any tattoos." Like, that's the kind of bullshit I really want to hear Cam.
Respectability, zero.
But think about that, though. How long has that voice been silenced in the black community, period? That we have to do
in the United States of America, in the world.
Yeah, I mean, well, not necessarily everywhere in the world.
Yes, and black people are oppressed everywhere in the world.
But regardless, how long has that been the stigma that's been placed on black people, that we have to not lash out and when we can't emote being angry,
black woman.
Right? Because we're being seen a certain way.
And even his reaction to her, I wanted him to be angry with her. I wanted him to say, "Fuck you, you don't understand." But he
can't go that far.
But do you think that's his person? I don't know about Cam Newton, but is that his personality?
What he did.
Did you see the play?
He basically explained in the press conference, he explained why he did it. He said he wasn't doing it to antagonize the other team, and talked about his work with kids. And she was like, "Oh, I heard him address my feelings, and I really appreciate it. So I understand him now, and I'm not upset anymore." And that pissed me off even more.
Because he didn't really address, like,
the resistance that came with that.
Like, because
if you saw the play, let me just say it for the people watching who didn't see it.
And I was looking
First of
for
all,
it, but I couldn't find it.
Cam Newton has, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, scored more touchdowns by rushing than any quarterback this season. I think if he ain't the best, he's in the top 3. Okay, and you know about football, it is difficult to score a touchdown by rushing, and
especially for quarterbacks. That's not
all right. And okay, why do you be mad when other people celebrate their success? Like, who are you to? I feel like we done went way too far with giving people awards who don't deserve it, and then telling people who have earned success that they shouldn't celebrate it because it makes you feel bad about your pitiful ass.
But the thing that we aren't addressing in this situation is because Cam Newton is black. Like that's the thing, that's what it comes down to. Because listen, wait. Listen. So when Aaron Rodgers scores a touchdown, he does his little discount double check. When Tom Brady does stuff, he gets in the face of the opponent and cusses and yells and all that stuff. When Brett Favre scored touchdowns, he ran around the field like a fool with his helmet on. That same night, Sunday night, when the Seahawks were playing the Cardinals, the backup quarterback is on the sideline going crazy in the face of like another. And nobody said nothing to him.
And you know what?
Like, and also a penalty in the NFL. Because the problem is Cam got a penalty for excessive celebration.
But here's the thing.
And what that?
I will say is, the sports commentators and reporters, they talked about how it was unfair. They compared it to the other quarterback, but they never said it was. They never said racism. They never.
They're never gonna say that.
No, they're
never gonna say that.
Why not? Everyone in the room knew. Everyone started with the whole uncomfortable laugh.
Number one, because big business is conservative, right?
People gotta keep that.
And frankly, number two, one of the main channels that does football coverage is Fox. Okay, right. So you ain't gonna get that from them. Number 3, I don't remember what number 3 is, but I'm gonna say something anyway. So when it comes down, the other thing is when it comes down to it, and I do. So the flip side of this, and the part that a lot of people overlook too, and I recognize this because I do work for an NFL team part time, is that quarterbacks in general are also held to a different standard. So that's why Cam is never going to come out and lash out at anybody because he's a quarterback. You're never going to see a quarterback, black or white, really do that. Right?
I don't know. You saw Tom Brady get in that ref's face.
Yes, and
what I mean is this. You're never going to see them lash out. Like if someone wrote a letter, you're never going to see a quarterback lash out at that person. You're never going to see a quarterback lash out.
I just think that's bad PR anyway.
You're not going to see that.
I think just would like to say that it made a lot of people mad. And it makes people mad to see black people
celebrate
in positions of empowerment, especially when that
somebody had tweeted.
Let's go simpler than that. It makes white people mad to see black people celebrate. Period.
Yes. Right.
And somebody
that's why I love it when the ref called up through the flag and he was like, yeah, like he did it again. And I went crazy in my house. And I don't even like Carolina because I'm from Atlanta and I want the Falcons to be ain't shit today, having a hard time. But yeah, like you ain't gonna tell me that I can't celebrate my victory, my success. Please.
Well, and I think the other thing that people forget about the NFL is like, especially the older you get, is that you are literally watching people play. Number one, they're playing a game.
Yeah.
And number two, most of these people, they're still kids. They're 23, 24. Cam Newton is what, 24 years old, and he's playing a game.
He's 25 now.
Oh, my bad. You would know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
his birthday's in March.
They are.
Cam, be live.
They're kids, and people forget that they are kids playing a game.
Rich kids playing the game. Say that. Don't forget that
part. I mean, the rich side has nothing to do with the celebration.
Yes, it does.
I think they're just mad they can't control these carefree black men.
That is what it boils down to. And that is what I want someone in a position of power in the sports industry to say. I want someone to have the balls to say that.
You ain't gonna get that though. It's too much money involved.
Someone has to. It's always someone who.
You are never going to get someone that actually has the scope in their speech when they talk to say that. You may get like a defensive lineman, like I can imagine Richard. Nah, I can't even say Richard Sherman now. I can imagine
he fell off.
Richard Sherman. Disappointment. He ain't here for Black Lives
Matter. I can imagine.
happen for
I can
him.
imagine that like Michael Bennett would say that he plays for the Seahawks too. I can imagine that his brother Martellus Bennett would say, because they're outspoken people, right? But you're never going to get someone who, when they talk, it's going to actually make it on ESPN because of who they are, say anything like that. It's not going to happen.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
Because the other thing you have to keep in mind too is, is the money factor. And if I'm an athlete and I know that I make, money off of what comes out of my mouth in addition to what I do on the field,
right.
I may not say something that's going to risk me losing an endorsement or something like that. I'm not going to do it.
So why are we, if that is the case and we understand that, why are we on Twitter screaming at the people who aren't speaking up in the movement? Why are we angry about it? Why can't we just say, oh, they're not going to say it because they have this check?
Well, who are we screaming? Wait. No. Wait, who are we screaming at?
I mean, it happens every day. Beyonce doesn't say enough.
Oprah.
Why hasn't Oprah support? Yeah, it happens every day. They just pick whoever. And then when someone does speak out, it's, oh, you didn't say what I wanted you to say.
Well, I think that with, like, I could care less if Beyonce said, like, Beyonce hasn't said anything.
Wait a minute, watch your mouth. Wait.
Anyway,
don't disrespect the God.
I'm not disrespecting her. I'm just saying. Number one, Beyonce ain't the most
brightest.
Watch your mouth.
She ain't the brightest. She showed
that. We talked about multiple intelligences, and
second of all,
wait, mouth about Beyonce. I would not sit aside and listen to this slander.
Anyway,
you heard Kia.
Beyonce has done nothing that has given an implication of one way or the other, right? And so there's times when people make statements and it's not necessarily with their speech that makes people feel a sort of way too. So
I agree.
Like comparing like Beyonce to like Oprah, like in Oprah's case, like a lot of people were upset that she's investing in stuff in Africa and not investing in stuff in like her hometown or in Chicago where she became famous, right? And so I think that like with Beyonce's case and not saying anything, I don't necessarily understand it because she hasn't even necessarily given you a frame of reference to speak from as to what she would say.
A whole bunch of nothing.
But it's either we want these people to speak and we feel like we have a right to say speak, or we don't want them. To me, that's a pretty black and white thing. We can't pick and choose.
I agree.
Who we feel should speak and who we are okay with not.
Everybody don't need to talk about everything.
And I don't think things are black and white.
Like, but then on top of that, I think that yep, it just jumped out my head again. I don't know what I was gonna say.
It happens.
Yeah, but resist, like I can resist by donating money. I can resist by protesting. I can resist by, talking about changing the policies in the place where I work. I just feel like we should not expect everyone to resist in the same way because the work that you do, right? Yes, just
but
stay in your lane.
I think what Kia is saying is that she is seeing people that are upset because people aren't showing a form of resistance, period.
And I'm saying that just because they ain't showing you don't mean that they're not resisting.
But I'm saying, I think, and what she's saying is regardless of whether they're showing you or whether they're not doing it, period, they're being lumped into the same place, and that's where the issue is lies there.
That ain't right.
You just have to be an activist on your own level.
Yes,
you do whatever that level is.
And you know what I realized?
But the thing is, you don't have to be an activist.
And that is true. And even as a black person who may or may not think Black Lives Matter is important, you don't have to be an advocate for that cause. And I've just learned that protesting is not my ministry.
Right, but you can support if you're supporting is all you do is uplift the voices, right? Do that. Mm-hmm. Donate money. Do that.
Well, I mean,
donate your time.
That's something like that. So a lot of a lot of y'all know that like Netta and DeRay and them are like they're friends of mine.
Right, they're awesome. I love her. Tell her I love her.
Joke.
Shout out to Netta and DeRay.
We all joke about how like whenever we're at protests and stuff, like getting arrested is not our ministry, right?
No,
there are people that are totally okay with getting arrested, and that is wonderful, and that serves a purpose and has a role. That is not my ministry. I got to go to work in the morning.
Oh, right.
Right. I have
responsibility. And see, me, I don't like the elements. I don't want to be in the cold. I don't want to be in the heat. I don't want to be in the rain. I don't have too many pairs of comfortable shoes that's going to have me out here walking. I'm not going to march 2-3 miles. I don't want to walk from the parking lot to my job in the morning.
And people need to respect that.
That's not who I am. That's not how I do this.
And everybody
don't own that.
Right. Just advocate on your own level.
Yes.
Where you are. Be comfortable where you are. Yes.
Yes. Do what you know to resist.
Right. The Dalai Lama said, "Stop praying for Paris. Humans created the problem. Humans must solve it."
Dalai Lama need to shut up.
We can't do both.
But you know what? I got what he was saying.
While we pray.
I mean, I get it. Like, I get it.
Here's what I got from it. So many times we say, "I'm praying for someone," and and that's all we're doing. We use prayer as an excuse for inaction because now it's God's responsibility. When at the end of the day, I believe, and this is my personal theology and stuff.
Come on.
I pray for insight, direction, and then I have to go out and do the work. I don't sit and wait on God to do a miracle and make ISIS disappear.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah, and that's what I took from his statement. Like, shut up using prayer as an excuse not to do the hard work to solve the problem.
Say that.
But see, I think that goes right back to what you was just saying about the movement, right?
That means I contradict myself.
So if you're telling people to shut up and do this, like, that ain't everybody's ministry.
Well, do something is what I'm saying.
But I mean, maybe my form of doing something is prayer. Right?
Okay, but
I get it.
No, but the thing is that me doing something for Paris ain't my ministry, right? That ain't me.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Right? But I mean, but that's essentially what the Dalai Lama, what his interpretation of that is saying is that if you gonna pray, like, that's wonderful, but go do something after that. When for me, like, doing something for Paris is not my ministry. Just like you were just saying, when it comes to the movement with Black Lives, there's certain things that people just aren't going to do, and we shouldn't expect them to do it because it's not their ministry.
Yes, but do something. I did say that. Use your area to do something.
But his prayer is something.
Doing something is prayer.
I don't know, because I feel like if you pray, then like most major religions, prayer is an active process. Yes, right. Okay. But I also feel like you can't just pray that God is going to give you a job. You got to go out and look for a job. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I know that can use prayer as a form of resistance, because I do, I use prayer to resist a lot of things, right? Including oppression. That was one of the things that I said that I do to not become who I hate. So, but in order to do that, I also have to put some work behind what I'm expecting to manifest itself from my prayer. That's all I'm saying. So, yes. Prayer is action, but I also have to do some things to show that I want.
But the thing is,
what are we going to do?
But the thing is, no, I don't, because that's not my ministry. No, that's not my ministry.
Theology. That's your theology.
But I mean, but I'm saying take the theology part. Take the theology part out of it. We're talking about strict.
When we're talking about prayer.
Hear me out.
Unless you're praying to yourself.
Hear me out. No, hear me out. What I'm saying is, prayer. Okay, the prayer that he's talking about in that sense is an action, right? And what Kid is saying is that is his interpretation is that if I'm not doing more than, like, prayer is great, but if I'm not doing more than that, then what's the use of me praying, right?
Right. Well, I don't know if that's what she was saying. I think she was just saying pray and work, right? What was you saying, Keith?
Yeah, well, don't use prayer as an excuse.
Right.
And I think a lot of us are like, ooh, I said my prayers, so my hands are washed clean. I can feel good about myself. So whatever your ministry is, make sure that you're not using prayer as an easy way out.
Okay.
Right. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just sit and say that someone, because they said because they prayed about it and then didn't do anything after that, you can't say that they didn't do the work. You can't say
maybe that's all they can do.
Because when it comes down to it, and what Kia is saying is, it's really about the intent behind your prayer. And
Well, and
nobody
that's
knows.
what I'm saying. If your
But
prayer is
nobody knows
intentional,
that.
it is followed by. No, nobody has to know.
And the thing is, that's a you and God
exactly
thing.
what I was saying.
If my prayer is intentional, it does not have to be followed by me doing something actively for France.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. You keep talking about France, and I'm still on Black Lives Matter. I'm saying if you're Black, praying does not absolve you from your responsibility to use your platform to resist. And maybe we will disagree. I'm just saying I feel that sometimes people be like, I'm going to pray for y'all, and that's all that you should do for someone.
But maybe that's all they can do.
Okay, so
that's all they have.
Oh, so here's my thing. Here's the way it sticks in my head. Adam and Eve, whatever, God gave man dominion over the earth. It's our job to be the hands and feet of God. So at some point, if we want something to get done, someone on this earth has to get it done. Yes, I believe in miracles. I don't believe in living miracle to miracle. I believe in you live by doing the work.
Yes.
Right. So it may not be my job to be the hands and feet in Paris, but someone has to take that responsibility and do it, and not just say, oh, I'm praying. I prayed, so my hands are washed clean. Let me go and take care of me. At some point, and we talk about allies a lot, like who's allies with Black people. I'm an LGBTQ ally, but who are we an ally with? When are we helping someone who doesn't look like ourselves, who's not us? Because we want people to be allies with us, but we also have to be allies with others. So it just goes. We always have to remember we're the hands and feet.
Yes.
Of God.
See, I think going back to my original point, I think a lot of it too goes back to the intent with which you're praying. And I think that's one of the things that Kia is speaking to is if you were speaking and your intent is to use that prayer as an excuse to not do anything, that's totally different than I am praying and that is my ministry in this case, because that's what I can do. And so all I was saying is that in this instance, because nobody ever knows the intent behind someone's prayer,
and
you can't say that because I prayed for something and then didn't go follow that with an action that has to do with what I prayed for, that my prayer wasn't legitimate
I think that a prayer can be legitimate.
Yeah, but you're also saying that prayer should be followed by action, right?
What I said was that if you understand prayer, and maybe we define it in different ways, and that's okay, right? Yeah. But I feel that sometimes in the way that Kia expressed it is that we treat God as a give me God, right? Like give me a man, give me a job, give me some money. And you don't do anything, and you be like, well, God ain't shit because God ain't giving me what I'm asking for. You said if I ask for it, he'll give it to me. But they forget the part that says that you have to work in order to get blessed, right? And so, yes, God will bless you anyway, but I believe that nothing absolves you of your responsibility to act on things that are wrong. Not prayer, not your job security, not because the thing is, if you're not going to be the person to stand up and say something about it, that means that you are in silent agreement with what is happening. And that was the point I was making with Black sports.
And that's the point I was making with the sports, though.
Yes.
At some point, when am I going to sacrifice this contract because it doesn't sit right with me internally to sit and be silent with this?
And then that Dez Bryant who went off because I think he said the reporter called him a nigga or something like that.
Yeah,
I think so. And because, he acts out anyway, but he was just like, I am going to be the one to say it because y'all been racist to us since I can remember. So I'm going to say it to everybody, and I don't care what happened. And I mean, he received negative consequences from it, but at least now the conversation is on the table.
And you receive negative consequences when you speak out. I don't think anyone who speaks out, no matter what your level of responsibility or what your platform looks like, there are negative consequences for me doing this show.
And that's why
I think to and this is just me playing devil's advocate again.
Come on, devil's advocate.
For me, I think that we made the statement before that we don't know what anybody's ministry is when it comes to any movement. We can safely say that, right?
Right.
So and so in saying that,
unless they tell us,
we don't know what like Cam may be doing something that is not on TV that we all see, but is still doing the work, right? And we can't say that because he's not doing that the way that we would do it. That
we want him to do it.
And so, and kind of going back to the original point of and the analogy between like what's going on in France and what's in like the analogy I drew with Black Lives Matter is that when it comes to prayer, like all I can do for France is pray, right? And to someone that may look like I'm using prayer as a crutch to just say, okay, well, I did something, right?
Well, no, Reggie, because you retweet stuff about
right. But this is hypothetical. Listen. This is hypothetical. Let's say you don't know me. Let's just say all you know about me. Let's just say all you know about me is that I said I pray for France, right?
Yes. Okay.
And
then I'm not judging you.
So we don't know these people who say, yeah, I'm like, obviously the Dalai Lama doesn't know everybody who said I'm praying for France, right? So you can't necessarily speak to their intent, or I mean, you don't know that they can't do more than pray.
So I think here's
my
the
question:
thing.
what do people want people to do about prayer? Like, what can someone do?
Well, I mean, usually in those situations. Usually in those situations, it's a chance to give aid some kind of way, Red Cross or something. But I think, and I had a Twitter rant about this earlier today, but I also think this isn't, with this whole prayer conversation, it's not an external judgment thing. It's an internal conversation that you have to have with God to figure out if you're doing what he wants you to do. So it's not for me to say your prayer's not enough. That's for you to go and sit in your prayer closet and figure out, am I with yourself?
But see, and I agree with that. I agree with that. My point is that maybe that statement that he made is insensitive to that.
Yeah, it is.
It's insensitive to that ideology.
I can see that, Reggie. I can see that. You absolutely right. That is insensitive. You're right. And he, as a man of the cloth, should not be saying that.
And let me see.
Because he in the prayer business. Honestly.
And he did bring that up. I want to make sure that we're being fair to him and not just going off a headline. So hold on and let me see if I can find his quote, because I don't want people to walk away and say.
Can we talk about Tay Diggs in the meantime, though? Connie, please tell me what you think about Tay Diggs as a mother of a
biracial child.
Okay, yeah, you use that. Biracial, okay.
Mixed. She's
Hold on. I'm sorry. I got it up, and I just because when I cut up the video, I want it to be smooth. So he said we cannot solve this problem through only through prayers. I am a Buddhist. I believe in praying, but humans have created this problem, and now we're asking God to solve it. It's illogical. God would say, solve it yourselves because you created it in the first place. He added his hopes that the record of violence in the 20th century doesn't continue to bleed into the current one. We need a systematic approach to foster humanistic values of oneness and harmony. If we start doing it now, there is hope that this century will be different from the previous ones. So I don't think he was completely, let me see. I was just trying to make sure I have read everything regarding the prayer thing. If the people think that this institution is no longer relevant, okay, he's talking about something else there. So I don't think he was completely dismissive, but I definitely understand what you're saying, Reggie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reggie, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. I was just talking about the black people who feel like they can rest on the work of
just
other people. Because, like you were saying, I followed Netta before she, became who many people now know her to be. You know what I mean? Because I think that it's important to stand up for the fact that people don't realize that it is a sacrifice. The work that you all are doing is a major sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of ways, you didn't ask for it. It kind of came to you out of your personal conviction, right? And so I just feel like sometimes other people want to benefit from that work, but they don't want to do anything to help you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And that's the place that I was coming from the side of the movement that we've been in since we tried to get free from slavery, is that, it's amazing to me the amount of people who will devalue and discredit the work and then want to reap the benefit or want me to come to your aid when you experience some type of oppression. And so all I'm saying is nothing absolves you of your personal responsibility. And I think the kid really hit the nail on the head when she said that it's really about a personal conversation. Am I really doing the best that I can do to change this problem that's affecting me, whatever that problem may be?
Absolutely.
All right, biracial children. Connie. Tay Diggs. Okay, to catch people up, Tay Diggs said he did not want his son, his biracial son, the son is black and white, I do believe, correct? Mother's white?
Yeah.
He did not want his biracial son to be identified as black. He wants him to know that he is mixed, biracial, both black and white. Connie, go.
Okay, sis.
Well.
Yes, Reggie, retweet.
Well, first of all, I think
the
obsession with mixed children is out of hand and it's quite ridiculous.
Ooh,
but this is a conversation that should be had when you are dating someone outside of your race. How you would want to handle this. But Tay Diggs had some issues anyway with race because he said some off the cuff things about being a black man. So maybe in his mind he wanted to have this light-skinned, mixed, swirly child that wouldn't have problems with the world like he had. But it's not up to him about what his child wants to be. If his child wants to be identify as being a black man, then he should be accepting of that. That doesn't mean that, I don't think that would mean he would want nothing to do with his mother or his mother's side or his mother's heritage or culture. That's just like Mariah Carey. No, her dad wasn't in the picture, but she self-identifies as black. Do you think she not loves her mother? No. Tia and Tamara, they self-identify as black women. Their dad is white. Their brother self-identifies as a black man, So if that's how he sees himself, and then the world, I mean, to be honest, unless he is so light that he could pass, right? This is no imitation of life situation. The little boy looks like a light-skinned black boy, and that's how the world is going to, treat him. People think that, my daughter is Mexican. They know she's something. She's not just straight black, or she's not just straight white, but the world already sees her as other, right?
They do.
So that's how they're going to treat him, and he should be okay. He's not. I think it's just foolish to sit up here and say that
responsibility as a black father to prepare his son,
right? But to say that he's going to deny his mother or deny his other half, it's crazy. But guess what? Maybe he doesn't like their culture, or maybe he can't identify with that. But I think Tay Diggs has issues anyway, but I think people now wanting mixed children just for the simple fact of the light eyes and the hair, you're gonna end up with like a tragic mulatto, right? I don't know what I am, but it's your responsibility to teach your children both sides, both cultures, but don't sit up here with the intent of having a mixed baby for a look. A designer baby, because then you have children who are confused and don't know what to do.
So,
frankly, I don't think your goal should be to have a mixed baby. Period. It should be to have a healthy baby.
That's true, but some people, that's what people are going for now. I want to have.
That's true.
Kim Kardashian. There was a quote she actually said. She said that she wanted to get with a black man for the aesthetics.
Yes, she did.
Well, and you know what? I think Kim.
Consider the source.
I'm not gonna say. I would not be surprised if Kim had issues with North as she grew up, because I think North is gonna end up being blacker than Kim expected her to be.
Her color is already coming through.
Yes, if you look at her skin tone right now, her hair, everything. I don't think that the aesthetics and the designer baby that Kim is wanted is what she's going to get. Right. And that is not saying North isn't cute or anything else before people start reinterpreting and making up my words. I think she's gorgeous. I think that she is going to be blacker than what Kim expected.
Well, what she did,
that little button nose that she has and all that, it's going to be interesting to see her grow up in a household where everyone has had plastic surgery and how that affects her.
And they look different from her.
Yeah.
All the women in her family right now, that we see though. But I just feel like I feel that she did say, I know that she said that she was not prepared. Do y'all remember that?
Yes.
I never heard
yes,
this.
yes. Come on now.
Yes.
Let me go back. When North was first born, she
Yep.
said that people were making comments about what her baby looked like, and she said, I honestly was not prepared for what my child was going to experience. And she talked about the fact that she doesn't feel like anything can really prepare someone for something like that, because she said that she really didn't experience racism until she experienced it through the things that people were saying about North. So I will say that, I don't know if North looked the way I don't know about that, but I do know that Kim Kardashian was not prepared for the racism that her daughter would receive, because even though Armenian people are brown people, Kim Kardashian doesn't look.
I don't think she sees herself as.
That's what we talking about. Like, if you look black to the world, it doesn't matter how you identify. They're gonna treat you like you're black.
Right.
So I have a question. There is this girl. Someone retweeted it onto my timeline yesterday, I believe, or whenever the Tay Diggs conversation happened, and y'all may have saw it. It's a mixed girl, black and white, but she looks white.
So she passive?
She explains to people that she is mixed and biracial, but people tell her, no, you're not, or they aren't accepting of her identifying as biracial. So my question is, we are always okay with biracial people identifying as black when they look black or when they look, mixed.
Ethnic.
Yeah, say it.
Ethnic. So are we accepting of a biracial child identifying as white when that is what they look like?
Well, you have Rashida Jones, Quincy Jones's daughter. She, she's a mixed child, but to me, she self-identifies as a white woman, or she doesn't, or she has a problem saying she's ethnic. She has, she's mixed.
But so, don't we look down on that in a way that we don't look down on mixed people who identify as black? Because I remember when Amber Rose said she wasn't black, it was all this, she's denying us. And I just feel like we kind of can't have it both ways, can we?
You're right.
That's
we
true.
want it
right.
Like,
well, see, my question would be, when you compare this to people who are transgender, right? So we're saying that we're saying no. Let me finish. We're saying that it's fair to say it doesn't matter what you say you identify as. The world identifies you at this and that, and that's what it is. We say that about when it comes to like blackness and interracial children and stuff like that. But is that fair when we say that same thing to someone who's transgender? Who's saying I self-identify as a woman, even though I was born as a man? But is that fair to say to them, well, it doesn't matter what you identify yourself as, the world sees you as this?
No, because it's not fair for you to define anyone. Everyone has the right to define themselves for themselves, whether you agree with their definition or not.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then why was there all the big backlash about Rachel Dolezal?
Because people are dumbasses, and the thing is, she was not willing to accept the fact.
That she's white.
Personally, never said. If Rachel Dolezal would have said, I was born white, however, inside of me, I feel, and I think that's what she said. But Rachel never said that she was white until she went on the
Real?
The Real. She never said it before that. She was like, I identify as black. Okay, but you cannot just disown your whiteness.
But there are transgender people
and
that
that's
say
not the same. It's dangerous when you compare these two issues.
And what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna be completely honest.
I'm just playing devil's advocate for.
And I get it. But I don't completely understand the whole, because I have the question that you asked have gone through my mind a lot of times, and I can't completely explain it. Like, I don't have the words because my mind can't comprehend. Where I am with that issue is, if this is what, as far as transgender, if you tell me you're a boy, you're a boy. If you tell me you're a woman, you're a woman.
And I should treat you.
And we don't do the same thing with race, and I don't know if it's fair or unfair. And
Like
the thing about Rachel though is she felt manipulative and not.
I definitely agree.
Yes. And
I just threw that out there because that's been something that's recent.
No, it was, and
in news.
Well,
but I think that's an important conversation. That's an important point that you made. Like I think I don't know how to answer that either, because for me it's different too, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I think because I have a greater understanding of Blackness than I do of the transgender community, that I feel safer saying indignantly
yes
on the Black side than I do on that side. I just figured I would throw that out there because that is something that we do.
Yeah, it's dangerous. We compare apples and oranges all the time.
I love that we're having this conversation and that we're having it in a space where we're honest enough to say, I don't understand, but this is what it is. And and another thing I was gonna say, I lost it, Reggie.
Like if Sophia wants to self-identify as being white, then that's on her. Then that's on her. You know.
So as her Black mother, you wouldn't feel any kind of way.
Actually, no, because I think my daughter actually has some colorism issues, to be honest.
Well, that's the other point I was going to make is, so while I do understand Blackness, I don't understand interraciality or whatever the word is, right? To say, I mean, really, why can't they just identify as interracial and that be enough? We live in a world where we desire to make them choose whiteness or Blackness.
And I think it's I think it's two different things going on.
Interracialism, would that be the word?
Interracism. I just did my
interracism. It sounds like that would be like racism.
No, that's intra. That's inter. Interracism.
Okay.
I did my Googles.
Okay, so I think it's two things going on there. I think it goes back to slavery and the one drop Black, you're Black.
Come on.
And I also think it has to do with us, with colorism and people and passing. So we want you to say that you're Black because we don't want you to, because if you don't identify your Blackness, we feel like you're saying the Blackness is beneath you. I don't want that.
Yes.
And that's the whole, the imitation of life situation. Sarah Jane didn't want to be bothered with her mother because her mother was dark, and she wanted to live the life of a free life, living with with her white counterpart, her peers, and Sophia has problems with color, honey. Ever since she, darker people are scary. She preferred, her white side, It's getting better now that she attends an all-Black school, but...
How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But, she, and she says, oh, mommy, in the summer times, of course, she gets a tan. Oh, mommy, I don't want to be as dark as you, Why do I get dark?
That would just hurt my little heart, boy.
It's like I don't want to be as dark as you and stuff like that. So I mean, it's her own little issues that she has to overcome, and I think it's hard for mixed children.
Yeah,
especially with children. It's really it's hard. Because people they'll say, well, what are you? And then people are shocked when they look at me and I'm darker than her. Or they oh my gosh, your dad is white. Children can be, they're honest.
That being mixed is not enough. We live in a world where, and this goes back to racism as a social construct, that we want to compartmentalize people into being, I want to be able to check this box for you.
Yes.
And we have not allowed, interracial to be a box that you can check mark on the what race are you list.
In high school, one of my best friends, she is mixed. I was going to say she was mixed, as if it changed yesterday. But one of my best friends from high school is mixed. And one day we were at Burger King, where we always hung out every weekend, and we were asking her, and it was a genuine question for us, what do you check on the box when it comes to SATs? And we were laughing and giggling because we were 15, 16, being silly. But what she told us later was that really hurt me, and it was all this internal struggle that she had in deciding what to check and why she checked what she does check. So that was really my first experience with seeing how, with seeing the struggle that biracial.
Yeah, because when it came down to
you're
it,
not
at the
black
time
enough,
when you asked her, she
Mm-hmm.
probably didn't feel comfortable checking anything.
Right.
She didn't know what to tell you.
And I think when we talked about it later, I think what she said is a lot of times she would check, if there was biracial, she would check that, but a lot of times she would check black because, she was very intelligent, and I don't want to be lying on her, so I hope I'm retelling this story from 20 years ago correctly, but it was one of those things where I'm checking black because I want to represent my blackness with
my intelligence.
And with my intelligence.
So, and, the first time we talked about this for me was at Spelman, and it was about Patricia Hill Collins. She writes about this interlocking system of oppression, right? Where I'm oppressed because of my blackness. I'm oppressed because of my womanhood. I'm oppressed because of the shade of melanin that appears in my skin. And for so many reasons, because of my sexuality, because of where I'm from, because of how much money I have or don't have. We're all oppressed by a myriad of things at the same time. And, what's really happening, and that's unfortunate, is that there legitimately, it has not been a space for mixed or biracial people to really have these larger conversations. So it just makes it difficult for us as a larger population that, doesn't really identify to sort of create a space to talk about it, because they don't really have a space where it's in a larger conversation or it's in the mainstream. So I just feel like, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say I'd be interested to know if the majority of mixed people, they self-identify as black, why do they do that?
Right, and why?
Yeah.
And it's unfair.
I also think that black people kind of make people afraid to not identify.
I agree.
And
I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair to us, and we already talked about why we do that, but I think it's unfair of us to put that on a mixed person.
I mean, because think about it. One of the disses that one of the things that we say is, that's of course it's wrong, but you talk white, you do this white, and so in a lot of ways we criminalize white, even though in those spaces it shouldn't be. And so then that it will, and I think it's not necessarily that people are afraid to claim the whiteness, it's just that they're afraid that it's going to be taken that they're rebuffing that blackness.
And that also goes to our internal white supremacists, because when I speak correct English, I'm speaking white, as if black people don't do this. Only white people are able to. It's weird, and yeah.
It'll just be an interesting conversation when Sophia gets older, how she self-identifies, and and why she would choose to go the route she goes. It's interesting.
I think that you are handling it well, because I think a lot of people would just be so hurt and broken. And I tweet about this a lot. We take parenting or what our kids do personally a lot. So a lot of people would take that as a rejection of themselves, and you don't seem to be doing that. And I love that you are giving her the space to grow and learn and to have this journey.
Yeah, and I thank you. And I tell her, I said, you're not better than somebody else because you have light skin and your hair is long. You don't treat the other girls in your class, you're not better than them. So I just try to teach her that you don't have that attitude, because everybody says, oh, you're so pretty, I love your hair, they fawn over her, and it's like, Sophia, there are other girls, you're not the prettiest, there's somebody who's gonna be prettier than you.
God don't like ugly, and he actually find it cute.
Okay,
right.
But don't treat the brown girls in your class bad.
And you know who else does that? Jennifer, who's on the show a lot. His mommy. She has a mixed daughter, and she is always like, I tell Cinda all the time, you ain't, just because you light skinned and have long hair, you ain't that cute. Calm down. You're not the cutest. That's not going to get you too far in life.
Right.
Yeah. I balance.
Well, at this point, I'm going to bid my adieu.
Bye.
So I do have a movie to get to. I'm going to make my drunk recommendation real fast, though.
Go.
My drunk recommendation, I'm actually wearing it. It's my pure black shirt. So please, 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 please go to Kid Noble's Twitter page or Instagram page, or if you were fortunate enough to be my friend on Facebook, where I seldom pay attention to the other people that are there, click on that link.
You don't read my Facebook posts, Reggie?
I read whatever pops up on my feed, and
Look, I don't go searching either. Right. I post and then log off.
The shirt comes in women and men sizes. It comes in black, red, green, gray, white, purple, and blue. And it also comes in hoodies and sweatshirts. So go ahead and cop your man one for Christmas so that you can go ahead and steal it from him, because that's what y'all do. And
y'all owe us that.
No, we don't.
Yes, y'all do owe us the sweatpants.
Why do we owe you?
What time is your movie?
10:30. Why do we owe you sweatpants?
Oh, just because that come with the relationship status, man.
So okay, you can.
So does us using your natural hair products in our beard, but
and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I agree with it.
Reggie, let's Can you give us advice for this drunk advice letter real quick? Because I think we need a male perspective.
Oh yeah.
Right, go ahead. I'm gonna give you something real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, dear drunks, don't get it twisted. Babe is bae. He's my everything. I really do love him, respect him, and adore him. The problem is we disagree on some things. Actually, disagreeing isn't, I think she meant to say, our problem, but we fundamentally disagree on how certain segments of people should be treated. While he treats me with the utmost respect, he's quick to refer to other women as bitches, hoes, sluts, and tricks. He uses the words like fags and tranny and treats people who identify as LGBTQ as if they're less than him. He also talks down about people in poverty and calls them lazy and stupid. Again, I love Babe, but his behavior disgusts me. What should I do? Am I in love with a bigot?
Yes, you are in love with a bigot. You should break up with this man, because I guarantee you, if the situation was right, he'd be calling you all kind of bitches and hoes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he's probably gonna call you a bitch and a hoe when you break up with him.
His relationship and how he relates to other people is a microcosm of how he treats the general public, right?
Come on, Reggie.
So you need to, like I said before, the writing is always on the wall.
Yes,
what you just put in that letter is the writing that you reading the writing on the wall to us, right? You wrote your letter on the wall. That's what it was, right?
Come on, my noble.
So you don't need to. The thing is this, right? There are certain things, like it's okay to disagree with certain things with your significant other. It's actually needed, right? Because if not, you're gonna get bored and contempt is gonna build. But you can't disagree with like the fundamentals.
Nah.
And how you treat people is one of the fundamentals, right? So in that sense, like, you need to leave him.
Yeah, girl.
Because what if your mom came out and said that she was gay?
And you know what? I was thinking, what if you have
a gay child?
Yeah.
Right. You know, how is he gonna treat your child if he gonna be running around calling your child and I hate this. This is one of the words I despise.
I hate that word worse than nigger. I hate it worse than nigger.
I genuinely hate that F word worse than
she's dating Lucius Lyon.
Oh,
she really, and on that note,
have a good one. We should go
break up with this dude. I hate that I can't hang around after the show and talk with y'all, because that's like the best part of the show.
That is the best part.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we'll rap. We'll all rap. We'll get like a group DM going. We'll get a group DM going or something.
Yes. Have fun.
Enjoy your movie. Shout out to your dude. I tell your boo to follow me on Twitter so I can know who she is.
I definitely am not going to do that.
Yes, I'm out here capping for her.
Nah. Y'all be easy.
Have fun.
Bye.
All right. Y'all have anything to add to Reggie's drunk advice letter?
Just leave him, honey. We don't want to see your children growing up being tossed in the trash can.
And not only that just go back to what I said earlier about loving you. Because the thing is, if you love yourself and you don't feel that way about people, then you would not be able to love somebody else who thought that it was okay. Because the thing is that she said was segments of people. And people are not segmented. People are people. and we segment people by the labels that we ascribe to them, right? So when we start to take a look at ourselves and start to really think about what we want from ourselves from somebody else, and then we try to be what we want so that we can attract it, then I think if she really takes a step back, she recognizes how it's hurting her to even align herself with him sexually, spiritually, mentally, physically. Because, you know, like Reggie said, that's a fundamental, man. You can't just be out here using words that hurt people because you want to. And then when I'm with you, I'm endorsing you. Like, me being with you is an endorsement, right?
That goes back to the whole sports thing and silence. My silence is consent.
Right.
So either I'm consenting or we're arguing all the time.
And which they obviously don't have a problem with arguing, or do they? I don't know. Girl, just dump him. Like, fuck
Please.
Please dump him. Because I can't.
Yeah, no. Just,
It was probably so hard for her to write that. Kid, is that a real letter? Somebody actually sent that in?
All our letters are real. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, but sometimes, you know how you hear these testimonial letters, right? And you be like, my baby daddy got another baby mama, but I still love him. What should I do?
Like situations.
Right? Or I'm in love with my husband's brother. What should I do? And you just be like,
in the room writing these dumb letters.
The strawberry letters.
Yes. At some point in our lives about something, and if you haven't, keep living. But listen, baby, you deserve better than someone that is disrespectful to people unapologetically. Because the thing is, even though he respect you today, this means that you might not do something that he doesn't quote unquote respect, that he thinks that he has the right to treat you this way. And so it may not have happened yet, but if you stay
but it will,
I promise you that he gonna show that fuckboyness.
Yes.
And you got to wake up and pay attention, baby, because you can't get to where you going flying with all of that shit. And that's Toni Morrison, so it's Bible.
All right. Real quick, because it's 11 o'clock. We've been on for like 3 hours.
It don't feel like it though.
It does. Okay, so real quick, Syrian refugees. One quick thought.
If they want to stop them from coming here, then we need to ship the white people. Well, white men. We need to ship them off somewhere. If they can't come in, we need to ship white men out. Yes.
Damn.
They are the real terrorists, if we're being honest.
Come on. This country was founded on terrorism.
Nobody is out here
on terrorism.
They're not stopping them from going to school. They're not stopping them from going to the movie theaters. They're not stopping them from going on military bases. They're not stopping them from doing anything, going anywhere. But you want to stop orphans and widows. Like, stop it.
Listen, I lived and worked for 3 years in a Muslim country. And I have traveled.
Y'all were over there that long.
A long time. And I traveled the Middle East extensively. And as a result, I had a chance to not only learn more about Islam, but to learn from people who practice Islam nationally, you know, which is very it's a mind-blowing thing for an American that, you know, the Muslim call to prayer plays allowed in a country, right?
Yes.
Because in the United States, we have alleged freedom of religion. And so, you know, it would be the equivalent of like you riding down the street and at the top of a church, they're praying Amazing Grace, you know, 5 times a day, or another psalm. But anyway, what I grew to learn about Islam is that it is very much like Christianity in that it is not a violent religion. It is not, does it have its places where it is misinterpreted and people act out their demonistic and ignorant and unjustified prejudices in the name of these religions? Absolutely. Look at the KKK, right? They believe that they're compelled by God to rid this country of
black people.
Right? So with every religion, we have extremists. But Islam is not a violent religion.
Yeah.
And it does not in any way purport what these people are doing. And I just want people to understand that the things that you say about people hurt them, and they hear you and they stick on them. And I had a student who did not wear her hijab, which is like a bad rule in the Islamic faith. You know, that some women choose to wear hijab, and if they choose to wear hijab, they are not seen without it in public unless they are in a place that is, you know, single gendered female. Right? And so she didn't wear it, you know, and that's not to say, I don't want to say that you're not a good Muslim if you choose to not wear a hijab, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you wear one, you wear it because you feel that it is a show of respect for your religion. And so she didn't wear it. And I said, why aren't you wearing your hijab today? And she said, because I was afraid.
Sorry, yeah. Wow.
And so it's just like, you know, damn, you can't even practice your religion because you afraid in the land of the free. And so I'm just looking for the All Lives Matter people. Where they at? Because they all lives matter except for the refugees. Okay, girl.
You know what? One of my Facebook, Twitter friends, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, girl.
Hey, Alicia.
Put it
Alicia
into yes.
Hey, Alicia. Shout out.
She put it into perspective when she said Jesus was Middle Eastern refugee.
Come on, and bring in the facts. At D-Star Rider, is it 54?
59.
59.
At D-Star Rider 59, if y'all watching, go follow her. She dropped those theological facts on you.
She did.
And when you think about the fact that Jesus didn't have anywhere to be born, Jesus,
no,
it just
hung out with whoremongers, the tax collector. Like, the disciples were not all good people, and Jesus used the worst people to do the best things.
Yeah.
So, and the Bible repeatedly tells us to take care of these oppressed and marginalized people, the widow, the orphan, the hungry, the homeless. And
sorry, I'm
for you. Oh no problem.
Girl.
And for you,
for you, don't you drop that alcohol. Don't you drop that alcohol.
And for you to say you believe in this word and you are so religious and you ignore all of that.
Fake as hell. That's that fake ass religion.
It is. And it's xenophobia. We say it's security, but it's not security. It's Islamophobia and xenophobia.
All day.
Plain and simple.
And it's fascist. And people don't like it when I say that word, but I'm going to say it. Donald Trump is a fascist. Because if you look up the meaning of the word, it really just says that you believe that your beliefs are supreme to everybody else, and that everybody else should adjust to what you believe. And the thing is, we don't have the right to tell nobody what they should and should not be, and we don't have the right to treat nobody any differently because of the God that they choose to serve or not serve. Because at the end of the day, it's not your business who I pray to or who I don't pray to. Because unless I'm praying to you. Okay?
Okay.
I agree.
Say that. Amen.
All right, drunk recommendations real quick.
Oh, girl,
if you don't have one, it's fine, because we always forget to have them.
I just love a margarita. Just
yes.
No salt, no sugar. Yes.
Come on, margaritas. Yes. Oh, and the people on my Twitter said that tequila is another alcohol that'll get that shit popping.
Yes, another Viagra alcohol.
Yes.
Popping, yes.
I think they call it the devil's nectar on my Twitter. Listen, this is my drunk recommendation right here. Can y'all see this?
What is that? Is that for your
images?
images?
Listen, let me show y'all what this is. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, let me tell you. All of my friends who know me always compliment me on my hair. And, you know, my natural hair journey has been a journey, right? So I always try to help people when they're trying to go natural and keep their natural hair luxurious. This lovely item, okay, it is $2.98 at your local Walmart. I don't even like Walmart, but when I saw this, y'all, I could not get it. But go to their website, all right? When I tell y'all that my edges have laid down in a way that I have not been able to lay them down all my life because of this invention. This is the next best thing. I promise y'all I don't own this company. I don't even know these people. But if y'all see this, call me because my company, we can work with y'all, all right? Anyway, y'all get this for your edges. It will lay down the most stubborn. And look, I don't even have to use a lot of gel with it because of the cold part right here. Y'all see that?
This is the blackest inventions I have ever seen in life.
I am here for it. Okay, I ain't gonna get too close because I actually used this like right before the show. But I'm telling y'all, get y'all one of these edge combs or put it in your friend's stocking for Christmas because
I wish it was sold at Target.
But look, you can find it online. Just Google it.
Oh, I can? Okay.
Yeah, just Google it. Okay. Google edge combs and it'll come up. Yeah, my friend had to Google edge combs. I don't like Walmart, but listen, I had to go ahead.
Speaking of Walmart, have y'all tasted the patty pie?
No. I can't find it, girl. My Walmart sold out, and I'm just like, I'd rather make my own.
So I said I don't shop at Walmart. I haven't been in Walmart in years, but I did say once the market stabilizes, I'm gonna go and get a patty pie just so I can see what the hype is about. Patty did.
Why she won't pay him?
She did that wrong. She did him wrong.
Now, and I get she's not obligated to pay him.
Yes, she is.
No, I mean she's not. She did.
She should.
I do believe she should. I don't believe she has a legal obligation to pay him. I think
not legal. No,
I believe it would be the moral thing to do.
Yeah. You use that.
She said that she
property to make money.
Yeah.
Well, she said that it was sold because of her.
Yes.
I'm like,
she said it was because of me. I said, Patty, you know what? I don't usually go against my elders, especially not, nobody that played both Dwayne Wayne mama and can sing down like Patty can while she rolling on the floor. But y'all know what? Patty wrong. She need to get that man his coin. For real. That man, Walmart said they sold 1 pie a minute for 72 hours.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine.
I didn't know nothing about the patty pie until I saw that.
Thank you.
He needs to cut him a check today. She ain't right. And them patty pies only $3. She also need to go back to her damn marketing team of economics people or whoever decide the pricing for down at the patty pie industry. And they should have made them pies $99.99.
I was going to say, that's a $10 pie. They're just $3?
They're $3.48. When I saw that, it was like, it can't be $3.48. Yep.
Right. You are what you eat.
Ooh, I'm scared to eat that now.
I was going to try to have some tonight, but my name didn't show.
The only place I know you can get anything for that cheap is the McDonald's dollar menu, and I don't know what's in that either.
Well, all I know is that young man is owed the coin behind them patty pies. And Patty, get that man his money.
Okay, so my drunk recommendation, I'm going to go with Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria by Beverly Daniel Tatum, PhD. It's a great book to help you understand just race relations and
in the 21st
century. Racial identity in the 21st century. Yes.
I have another one.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about drinks. Y'all see this hair in my head?
Yes.
These are crochet braids.
Come on, crochet.
Listen. It only took me 2 hours.
Tell me how it works.
Okay, so you know how they get your hair braided like, your silly braids?
Yeah, into the back, Cleo style.
Yes, and then you just crochet it in. It's like a loop and you crochet it.
Really, girl?
See, when we got crochet braids in high school, they didn't look like that.
It was them zigzag ones, remember?
Yes.
And you would get drug like a mug.
Listen, and not only do they have the single leaf twist, they have the extra braids too.
Girl, how do you take them out? Is it easy to take them out? You just take out the silly braid.
Yeah, you just like snip it and unloose it, and then that's it.
Girl, shut up.
Listen, no more sitting in the salon for 5-8 hours. You're somebody who know how to crochet.
Now, where you can get this done at? And excuse me, for the people judging, where can you get this done?
Well, I got these at C&C Beauty, but my friend installed them.
Wait, but now let me tell you, like, what if somebody don't have a friend that can do them? Like, can I get this
You
done
can
where I would
acknowledge
normally get
yourself,
my
though.
normally wait, but do the normal braided people do this too?
I don't think they do crochet.
Oh,
No,
okay.
crochet is not that hard to do.
So this is something that you could possibly YouTube yourself?
Yeah, you can YouTube and do it yourself.
Okay, yes. I'm
Get
here
you
for
the
the
hook.
hapbacks. Because they look good, girl, and they fresh.
Thank you.
And you know what? That's good. I like that.
Okay, so my other drunk recommendations is music, and it's actually music I haven't listened to, but it's on my to-do list. Number one, Justin Bieber's album. I heard it was really good.
Yeah.
But Justin Bieber thinks he's black, and
yeah.
Listen, what does it mean?
You know what? I can't remember who tweeted this. One of my Twitter friends said Justin Bieber made the album that Usher and Chris Brown should have made. And that's when I was like, really? Is that good? So, and Cameron, my son, he listened and he said it's really good. So, Justin Bieber's new album.
Okay, I trust him.
Puff Daddy put out, he called it like a audio movie or something. It's a mixtape, and he came up with some fancy term for his free mixtape he released. I heard that was good. I haven't listened though. Adele's album.
It's good. It's really good.
Girl, Kia, you know you my social media specialist, right? In my mind, like I have some people, everybody I know, they are specialists at their job in my mind, right? Because we don't give ourselves enough credit. Like if you done gone to school and you get degreed, or if you've been doing this shit for 10 years, you an expert, okay? Give yourself some credit. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Kia, what you think about that digital album being sold out?
You know what? I had never seen anything like that. Someone on my timeline said what probably happened, it probably had to do with the licensing agreement between Apple and the record company. They only had it up to so many albums, and she outsold that. So they had to.
That was because of Beyonce?
Huh?
You think that was because of what Beyonce did and these people who released it through iTunes?
You know what? I don't know, because
I do.
That if I wonder if that means I'd be interested to see. Well, I'd be interested to see if Adele sold more albums than Beyonce.
Well, because you can't stream her album.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
And you cannot stream it on Spotify. So I asked the economist that I'm currently sleeping with. I was like, "Girl, why you think that they did this, right?" You know, I always ask her because to me it's all about the money, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what's the money? What's the money reason? What's the money side? And she was like, it will force people back into the stores because now people are buying their music online or they're not buying it at all. Mm-hmm. Or, and if they are buying it, they never go into the store and buy a physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
So she did put a limit on it, like you said. Come on, social media specialist plus the economy. Because her record company was like, nah, we're going to force people to buy this album. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to only sell X amount in digitally. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to stream it. And so now that means that you got to go to a store and buy it. And then also
this morning at Target,
people can raise their prices. Yep. And they can keep them prices up through Black Friday because they know that you can't get this album nowhere else.
It's also, I think, just a point of note, the picture that was going around the internet where it sold out online, it was in Britain or UK. It had a pound sign and not a dollar sign in front of it.
But she's British, ain't she?
She is. So, I mean, it makes sense. I just know I went to the Apple store and I didn't buy it, but I was able to hit the buy button. It didn't say sold out when I went. So I don't know. I'm sure the licensing deals are with the different countries and not just like one big world licensing deal or whatnot. Jadakiss has a new project and Freddie Gibbs has a new one. So, yeah, that's
Do we like Freddie Gibbs?
I've heard that he is underrated. So it's on my list.
Okay.
We'll see.
Look, did y'all know something else? Another reason why she might have did that is because I think you have to have like 10,000 streams to count as one buy or something.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But you know what? I also heard a good reason how streaming works. Mm-hmm. Because people don't have to buy your album, But they will, if they like your music, they have the money to go to your shows now. So they may not pay $20 for your album, but they're going to pay $50 for that ticket. And actually, artists are probably making more money off of ticket sales than.
And that would be another reason why the record company would do that.
What? Yes. Yeah.
Because the record company don't want them to make money. The record company.
Yes. Yeah. And what I realized, Rich Homie Quan has never put out a solo album.
No.
Really?
But he's
been all singles?
It's been mixtape singles, and he did have a collab project with Young Thug, Rich Gang, through Cash Money. But he's never put out a solo album, and this dude is talking about he made $2 million on a mixtape.
Well,
so,
shit.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, if you can put out a hot single or a hot mixtape and tour and do shows and clubs off of that, then why are you?
What the hell do I need you for?
Exactly. Why am I going through the stress of making 17 cents off a CD and, $1 off a million streams when I can go out here and do this on my own and make $2 million?
True.
If that's true. I hope he didn't lie to me. If Rich Homie Quan lied to me about making $2 million off a mixtape, I'm going to be hurt.
Well, be prepared, maybe.
Right.
You don't seem like the type that's 100%, forthcoming. And I only say that because I think, and I hope somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but he was seen engaging in some inappropriate behavior with his son around, like on his lap.
Oh yeah, smoking. Yeah.
Yes. And you should not be doing that around no babies, no matter what no matter what you're doing.
And
it
just seems like he's
baby
long decisions. Yeah.
Come on now.
Wait, was that Rich Homie Quan or was it?
Don't make me lie on the young man, please.
Oh no, I think that was Young Thug.
I think it was Young. It was one of the two.
Get them all.
But they kind of look alike.
They do.
They all be wearing.
People, never mind.
Right, I just stopped myself too, kids.
Yeah.
God blocked it. Because I was like, they all be wearing socks. Stop, Shayna. Stop it.
Thank you for joining us tonight on The Real Drunk. We will see you not next Friday, but the following Friday.
I'll be back and Jane here.
Have a good one. Bye.